What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories.
9WS. Chapter 201. The Country of Fire, Konaha Village. High-rise meeting room. Now those in the conference room are naturally famous people in Konaha Village. Whether it is 3rd Hokage Seireitei Hiruzen, Danzo Shimura Danzo, the leader of the Root organization, and the two senior consultants of Konaha Village, Uchiha Kaharu and Mitokado Homura, plus the Wood, who has already been famous throughout the ninja world in the Second Ninja War Jiraiya, Senju Tsunade and Orochimaru of Yisanin. These people are all gathered in the conference room now. At this moment, they were watching Namikaze Minato, who was reporting on information, with an unprecedented shock and deepness on their expressions. The reason is very simple. It was really because the information reported by Namikaze Minato was too unbelievable, which shocked them incomparably. Their three views are shaking at this moment. Even 3rd Hokage Seireitei Hiruzen, who sent Namikaze Minato to investigate this matter, didn't know what to say at this moment. To be honest, if other ninjas in Konaha village brought back such information, Seireitei Hiruzen would even wonder if the other ninja had been given some kind of psychedelic drugs or magic tricks. However, it was Namikaze Minato who brought back this information. You know, in the minds of 3rd Hokage Seireitei Hiruzen, in fact, Namikaze Minato has long been one of the ideal candidates to succeed Naruto. At present, it is only still worrying about Orochimaru's situation, and it is not so obvious. As for the rest of the people present, in fact, their ideas are almost the same as those of Seireitei Hiruzen. After all, they can trust Namikaze Minato's strength and loyalty to Konaha village. But it is precisely because of this that, at this moment, even Jiraiya, who seems a little crazy and unserious, rarely shows a serious and solemn look at this moment. The four emperors of the Grand Line. The Espada of Hueco Mundo. And Soul Society. Seireitei's Gotei 13. Seireitei Hiruzen frowned and murmured to himself, this is really frightening information. Seireitei Hiruzen really imagined that if these organizations really exist, then how superficial is the so-called ninja they knew before. Minato, you said you played against the guy with the Hueco Mundo, Arrancars strength. At this moment, Orochimaru asked abruptly. He and Jiraiya are good friends and comrades in arms. For Namikaze, they are considered seniors. Of course, they don't have to be too polite. Well, yes, played against each other. Namikaze Minato said with some guilt. The other party is called Bullet. Read more at mtlarchive.com. His strength is very powerful, and his body seems to be able to regenerate indefinitely, and his strength is extremely large, besides. Namikaze Minato explained the characteristics of Bullet that he knew one by one. Including Bullet's rebirth body torso, and unparalleled power. Moreover, Namikaze Minato did not conceal the fact that he let Might die and others block Bullet and escape by himself. For the ninja, ensuring that the village gets the correct information is the first task, and he will not choose to hide the facts. And after hearing the introduction of Namikaze Minato, all the people present were silent. The injuries of Namikaze Minato and Might Day's bodies had been checked before, and Seireitei Hiruzen also sent many Anbus to the place where the battle took place to conduct multiple investigations. Therefore, they are very clear that what Namikaze Minato said is true. And this is also the most frightening point. Because of the strength of Namikaze Minato, he is undoubtedly one of the top powerhouses in Konaha village, but he didn't get any benefit in the hands of Bullet, and ended up in a situation where he fled. Might Dai erupted into the 8 Inner Gates formation, crazy enough to temporarily rival Bullet. Hueco Mundo, Espada, and isn't Bullet one of Espada? At this time, Shimura Danzo couldn't help but sigh. And the Soul Society. Jiraiya interrupted at the moment. Don't forget, Bullet ran away as soon as Jashiro Yukitake saw Jashiro Yukitake. This Soul Society should be above Hueco Mundo. However, according to Minato, Bullet must have lived for a long time, possibly hundreds of years, then it is normal for him to have that kind of strength, isn't it? Hundreds of years. When hearing these words, everyone's hearts became heavy involuntarily. You know, how many years have passed since the Sengoku era when the ninja was born to the present day? As for the establishment of the 5 great ninja villages, it hasn't even been a century. In other words, the existence of the people in Hueco Mundo is far more ancient than they thought. You can even think a little further, that the other party is probably a species that has existed since the time when the ninja sect was not established. Not only Hueco Mundo, but also Gotei 13, who has a confrontational relationship with them. If the people in Hueco Mundo are so strong, then Gotei 13 must have the corresponding strength. Besides, the 4 emperors on that great route may be worse than Hueco Mundo and Soul Society, but they are not under our Konaha village. After Tsunade said this, he turned to look at Namikaze Minato. Minato, you said you suspect that Seireitei, the Great Waterway, Hueco Mundo, me or something, is it similar to Mount Myoboku and the Wetbone Forest? Tsunade is the inheritor of the Wetbone Forest, so she naturally knows the existence of the 3 great immortals. Yes, this is my guess. Otherwise, there is no explanation at all. Their strength and why no one in the ninja world knew about their existence before. Upon hearing this, Namikaze Minato nodded and said, however, these are just speculations. No matter, the specific situation is still uncertain. Speaking of which, basic intelligence information has been sorted out. Next, the conference room fell into silence. It's not that the people present don't want to say something, but at this time they don't even know what they should say or what they should say. Especially third Hokage Seireitei Hiruzen, his brows are already frowning. These things were beyond his expectation, it was too illusory. At the time, Seireitei Hiruzen just thought it was an organization that had been hidden in the dark, taking advantage of the approaching war to make trouble, but now it is inexplicably involved in such a powerful force. Moreover, judging from the known information, whether it is Hueco Mundo or Gotei 13, in all likelihood, they are far more ancient and powerful forces than they thought. The only thing that can be defeated is the four emperors or something. Not only Seireitei Hiruzen, but everyone present, at this time, are thinking in their hearts how they should face these three forces. Especially Soul Society, Hueco Mundo, is really too powerful, far beyond their imagination. Chapter 202. At this moment, Seireitei Hiruzen still has two big questions in his heart. The first is whether the four emperors, Hueco Mundo, and Gotei 13 that have already appeared are all hidden in the ninja world. In the dark part of the ninja world, are there more powers similar to them that maintain the inheritance and possess powerful strength, but they don't know? Second, why did these forces that had never revealed their existence before, but appeared in the ninja world during this period of time? The Ukiora of Hueco Mundo took the head of Third Kazekage, and bullet went to the ancient city of Lulin. What was their purpose? These issues are critical. However, the more Seireitei Hiruzen thinks deeper, the more painful he feels in his head. Based on the information he has at present, these problems are simply unsolvable. However, in any case, Seireitei Hiruzen is almost certain that the other party will definitely not die. Obviously, Jiraiya and others have the same views as Seireitei Hiruzen. They will definitely show up again, whether it is the four emperors, or the stronger, Hueco Mundo, or Gotei 13, of course Gotei 13 is currently friends. Jiraiya said solemnly, Ms. Seireitei 18. Let me investigate. Unlike others, Jiraiya has also been prophesied by Toad Sage of Mount Myoboku. In the prophecy, the ninja world is about to be destroyed within a few decades, and his disciples will be the prophetic sons who will save the ninja world. It is for this reason that Jiraiya has been traveling among various shinobi villages in recent years. Although it has not completely separated from Konaha village, it is not far away. And after hearing the information brought back by his most proud son Namikaze Minato, Jiraiya naturally made a corresponding judgment. These mysterious organizations that appeared unexpectedly are probably related to the prophecy of Toad Sage of Mount Myoboku. In the future, disasters in the ninja world may be caused by these organizations. In the end, the person who saved the world is one of his disciples, Jiraiya. Ding, congratulations on getting 100,000 shock points for Seireitei Hiruzen. Ding, congratulations on getting 100,000 shock points of Jiraiya. Ding, congratulations on getting Orochimaru 1 million shock points. Ding, congratulations on getting Danzo. In the palace of the Spirit King. Chen Tian got a lot of shock points. At the same time, his gaze is also looking at the ninja world. What Jiraiya is thinking, Chen Tian also knows, but to be honest, he is a little helpless. The disaster predicted by the Big Toad was caused by Uchiha Madara and Otsutsuki. What does it have to do with him? But look, now Jiraiya's initiative to ask for orders has not been approved by Seireitei Hiruzen. No, Jiraiya, now we don't have time to investigate those guys in depth. Even if they reappear, it's not a matter of Konaha, a shinobu village. While speaking, Seireitei Hiruzen turned to look at Shimura Danzo, the leader of the Root organization, and said, Danzo, you and Gen are responsible for guarding these organizations. If you find their tracks, report them to me immediately. Hearing this, Shimura Danzo nodded lightly. Read more at mtlarchive.com. However, at this moment, the eyes of the number one conspirator in Konaha village flashed a strange light. Take this opportunity to grow your power. Chen Tian also knows Danzo's mind. What he did was for Konaha, it was for himself at all. This can be seen from the original work, Pen's Invasion, what Danzo did. From beginning to end, he did it for his own benefit. He can't wash it off. Teacher. U.Y. At this time, Jiraiya is obviously still a little worried. But when Jiraiya just said this, Seireitei Hiruzen raised his hand and gently stopped Jiraiya's words. Immediately after, Seireitei Hiruzen slowly picked up a scroll from the desktop and handed it to Jiraiya, saying, This is why I said that we have no extra time to investigate the root cause of those organizations. Jiraiya took the scroll smoothly, and after opening it for a few moments, a dignified color suddenly appeared on his expression. This is an intelligence scroll. Upon seeing this, Orochimaru and Senju Tsunade naturally got together, and then their expressions immediately became extremely ugly. This information scroll was apparently just returned, and the ink on the scroll was obviously new. After reading this piece of information, one thing can be drawn, the small war will finally turn into a big war. Kurigakure was also dispatched. The 5 great ninja villages are all moving. What broke out next was the real war of ninja world. The war is about to begin. At this time, Seireitei Hiruzen, standing by the window, his eyes were already looking into the distance, and he couldn't help sighing. He seems to have seen the flames of war sweeping across the entire ninja world, and all ninja villages, including Konaha village, will suffer serious losses in this war. And it is precisely for this reason that, clearly knowing that there is more than one ancient and powerful force in the dark that is watching in secret, but Seireitei Hiruzen has nothing to do. After all, the machine of war has begun to operate at full speed. This is not something that Konaha village can decide, let alone stop by a ninja village. The only thing that makes Seireitei Hiruzen feel that there is some comfort in his heart is that Konaha village is probably the only shinobu village that has learned a little about those organizations so far. Hope. Don't cause too much trouble. Seireitei Hiruzen lowered his head silently and whispered. Everyone around was silent at this time. Senju Hashirama, why did the peace created only last for such a short time? The war, as if it will not stop. In the spirit palace. The horror points Chen Tian gets, keep increasing. Among them is the ninja world. There are also pirate world. Right now, Roger's appearance shocked the sea. Bullet became Arrancars and entered, Hueco Mundo, which scared the sea. Although Roger is the One Piece, he is not a cruel existence, but Bullet gives people a different feeling. Now, how many people on the sea are begging Bullet to go to Hueco Mundo, it is better not to come back. Ding, congratulations on getting the 0 division. Close black lens bracket. Chen Tian snapped his fingers. Suddenly, several figures appeared in front of Chen Tian. The 0 Division, its impression in Shinigami is, the 0 Division belongs to the Royal Spy and is not led by Central 46, but is directly under the command of the Spiritual King, responsible for guarding the Spiritual Palace and the Spiritual King. The 0 Division was established long before Gotei 13, and the total combat power of the 5 men surpassed the entire Gotei 13 army. In fact, there is something wrong with this sentence. E.g., Chapter 203. The strength of Yamamoto Genryūsai, in Chen Tian's view, is not bad for the 0 team. It is worth mentioning that there are only 5 members in the 0 Division, and all of them are captains. The flower of the 0 Division is Shen Dinghua, and the flower language is glory, immortality, joy, and eternity. Of course, the representative of the 0 Division is Ikebe Hyasube. The 0 team is immortal. As long as the Spirit King is there. Call their names and you can be resurrected. Of course. The price of eternal life is not being able to leave the Spirit Palace. Now, 5 members, Hikashu Kiryu, Kirinji Tenshiro, Ikebe Hyasube, Shudara Senjumaru, Namaya Wangyu, appeared in front of Chen Tian. Participate in your majesty the Spirit King. They knelt down in front of Chen Tian one by one. With their appearance, as the Spirit King, Chen Tian found that his strength had undergone tremendous changes in an instant. Looking at these 5 guys, Chen Tian nodded and said, now my world is not complete yet, do you know what to do? The 5 looked at each other. The monk, Ikebe Hyasube, said, naturally, it is fighting. Sometimes, fighting will cause death, but many things appear after destruction. He, the monk dresses up, has a big beard, and wears a huge string of prayer beads. He has a deep relationship with the Soul Society. You must know that Zanpakuto, Shikai, Bankai, etc., these titles are all obtained by this monk. He named everything in Soul Society from the beginning. Right now, ding, the birth of Lingfanlidian 1%. Hearing the voice of the system, Chen Tian knew that it was the beginning of a new mission. Thought of this, Chen Tian snapped his fingers, this requires more shock points. Soul Society is now busy with the affairs of the Mao Spiritual Academy. But Aizen is very free now. With Chen Tian snapping fingers. Aizen appeared. As soon as he appeared, he also noticed the existence of the 0 Division. Aizen's pupils couldn't help but shrank, but he remained calm. Perhaps because of the emergence of the 0 Division. Reiatsu's aura is stronger in the palace of the Soul King. Aizen with Hogyoku, I'm struggling to walk here at the moment. But still standing in front of Chen Tian indifferently. Dare to ask the Spirit King, what are you looking for? Now the progress of Hueco Mundo is a bit slow. Chen Tian said. Aizen nodded when he heard this. Now there is Hogyoku, but it is still very difficult to create a complete espada or something. Under espada, there must be subordinate officers. This can't be done simply. Chen Tian pondered for a while before handing Doflamingo's strange soul to Aizen. Use this guy to create a bigger shock. Well done, I will also reward you, Hueco Mundo. As Chen Tian's words fell, Aizen nodded to himself. He looked at the strange soul in his hand and already knew what he should do. Read more at mtlarchive.com. Okay, go back. Chen Tian waved. Aizen left. Next, it's time for Hueco Mundo to act. What is Aizen going to do? Chen Tian doesn't care. What he cares about is the point of shock. Spirit King. It is no longer justice, evil can be described as. Under the whole king, there are the gods of the realm, but there are also gods of destruction. Hueco Mundo. Aizen is now back in the palace of the night. Ichimaru Jin, Tusen Kanami is already waiting for Aizen. Hueco Mundo can no longer do nothing, it's time to act. Aizen stretched out his palm, where is Doflamingo's strange soul? Using the power of Hogyoku, let him become an Arrancars, become our sword, go to the sea, or go to the ninja world, either, let him fight to his heart's content. Aizen's eyes are cold and domineering. Since becoming the master of Hueco Mundo. How could he be willing to do so? Just keep quiet. This is Pirate World, Dressrosa. The former Doflamingo naturally cooperated with Kaido. Since the death of Doflamingo, his power completely collapsed. Expelled by Marine, today, he is hunted down by Beast's pirates. Beast's pirates dispatched 6 volleys. They are senior officials of Beast's pirates, second only to the 3 plagues. Composed of the 6 strongest real fighters. The 6 people are all ancient abilities of Devil Fruit Zone. They want to accept Doflamingo's power, the so-called family cadres. But these cadres are mostly loyal. Refused one by one. Lead to be hunted down. Now, the sea has entered the night. On a small island, the Don Quixote family has fallen into the final end. Fuzifu, who was in the form of the ancient saber-toothed tiger, has now said, "Escape, where can you escape? Once, you and our Beast's pirates had some cooperation, but now, belong to us, our Beast's pirates, will command all the pirate groups, then annex Marine and become the king of the world, and then enter the world of ninjas and perform well in front of the Spirit King. Now, in this world, only Captain Kaido can do this." The officials of the Don Quixote family glanced at each other. They shook their heads one by one. Quote. I don't know the current affairs. Quote. Rebellious and ambitious. After Fosfu's voice fell, it suddenly changed. Turned into a terrible head with 2 long sharp teeth. Of course, still wearing a horn like peeping. Right now. When he was going. Too much to look at. The air tore the air. A guy in Arrancars clothes came rampant, but he looked at the guy whose lower jaw was covered with white bones. Kicked Fosfor directly. All of these happened between the electric light and Flint. The other people of the 6 volleys, and the Don Quixote family looked at them one by one. When I saw that figure clearly, I was shocked. Doflamingo. But how could this be his clothes? Isn't he dead? Li Zhao's the 6 volleys were surprised. Of course, they are not stupid, they quickly figured out something, they took a look at Doflamingo. As this Arrancar from Hueco Mundo. Look, he has the NO19 mark on his body. He actually became Arrancar. Ding, congratulations on getting 100,000 shock points for Black Maria. Ding, congratulations on getting Runty 100,000 shock points. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. Compared to them, the cadres of the Don Quixote family are overjoyed. The young master of my own family is back. And also became Arrancar. Although compared to Shinigami, Arrancar of Hueco Mundo seems to be suppressed. However, they knew they could follow in Doflamingo's footsteps again. Doflamingo glanced at the 6 volleys, and said, "Tell Kaido that I am angry. If he can't calm my anger, he will end up very badly." G. Chapter 204. Chapter 204 The Shock and Plans of Naval Headquarters. In the past, Doflamingo, although cooperating with Kaido, was absolutely afraid of Kaido. But now it's different. After receiving the power from Aizen's Hogyoku, Doflamingo discovered that his power was stronger than when he was alive. He hopes that he can play with Kaido to see if his strength after returning to the sword can kill Kaido. Fosfor gritted his teeth and stood up, having just been defeated in front of the others like this. Where to put his face? Thought of here. At this moment, he, who had become a huge saber-toothed tiger, continued to face Doflamingo. Dead. Doflamingo shot. String fruit has changed to the power of Arrancar. Right now, lines, swish away. Every line is as sharp as a sharp knife. Densely packed. The speed is so fast that it cannot be captured by ordinary observation hockey. Puff. For a time, the saber-toothed tiger was completely penetrated and dripping with blood. Other Runty and others. The cadres of the Don Quixote family were even more shocked. His young master is so strong. Ding, congratulations on getting Virgo 570,100,000 horror points. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. Chen Tian in the Spirit Palace has already heard the voice of the system, but at present, there is still too little shock. Right now, he was talking about the ninja world with Team Zero. Doflamingo knows what the task of his return is. After killing Fosfu, did not kill all the 6 volleyball players. Go tell Kaido, I'm in Dressrosa, waiting for him to arrive. Doflamingo felt the power in her body. Now he also wants to have an opponent, let him display the power of homecoming. Beast Kaido, tell him not to be scared to come. Doflamingo's madness caused the remaining 5 people, Runty, to look at each other before leaving here. Little Lord. Now, the cadres are waiting one by one. Quickly, Runty and others also returned to the island of ghosts and told Kaido about this matter. What? Doflamingo. Kaido is also unexpected. The dead fellow, Doflamingo, has also returned, and has become the Arrancar of Hueco Mundo, as well as it is. Now, the 3 major plagues are also looking at Kaido, the beast. I want to know the captain, what I want to do. Do not make jokes. The beast Kaido directly smashed the wine jar to the ground with a bang, completely broken. Read more at mtlarchive.com. All the beasts Kaido has fierce eyes, without the slightest fear. The overall strength of Hueco Mundo is certainly not comparable to us in this world. But Doflamingo is not a Spada. Then I may not lose either. Hearing these words, the 3 major plagues, etc., all nodded again and again. That guy, he still wants me to find him. Well, I will let him know. In front of the uncle, it is best not to be so arrogant. Following his words, most of the members of Beast's Pirates cheered. Do not believe this guy Doflamingo, so fast, he has been reborn. ... What's this kidding? Naval headquarters. Boom. The Buddha Sengoku hung up the call worm angrily. He also heard the news from New World and slapped the office with a palm of anger. Go, call me Garp, Suru and Admiral. Marine, who was on standby outside the office, was also taken aback, and hurried to inform Garp, Lieutenant General Crane, and 3 admirals' arrival. Not long after. They are coming. Garp is thinking at this moment, whether he wants to go to the ninja world and ask about 8 inner gates formation. Ordinary people use 8 inner gates formation, and the consequences are serious. But Garp thought about it. If he displays it, the result may not be so serious. Right now, called by Sengoku, Garp nodded Senbei and said depressed, Sengoku, do you know, now I am thinking about important things. Now another important thing has happened. Buddha Sengoku said solemnly. Something else. Garp was taken aback, and immediately said, what did Soul Society do, or what did Hueco Mundo do again? I don't think these 2 parties can affect us right now. Do not. The Buddha Sengoku shook his head and said bitterly. Now, Hueco Mundo has already started, Doflamingo has become Arrancars, and now it has appeared again. This sentence came out. The complexions of Garp and San Admiral all changed. Everyone wants to be the only subordinate force of the Spirit King. Fighting with each other. At present, this world is incomparable with Soul Society, Hueco Mundo. I thought Soul Society and Hueco Mundo would fight first, but I didn't expect. Doflamingo. Akainu snorted. He is not Bullet, he has become Arrancars, he is Aizen's power. Aizen is not as good as the Spirit King. In this case, Doflamingo cannot become lawless even if his strength grows. Aokiji is more concerned about another thing. So what did he do after becoming Arrancars Doflamingo? Sengoku, the Buddha, solemnly said. He killed Fosfu, one of the 6 volleyball sons, and at the same time gave a war letter to Kaido, the beast. The Sengoku voice of the Buddha fell. The atmosphere is solemn. Doflamingo, do you have such confidence now? Oh, it's terrible. Kizaru whistled even more. Buddha Sengoku pondered for a while and said, do you think Doflamingo can defeat Kaido the beasts now? 3 admiral glanced at each other. Do not know. Probably. He is too arrogant. 3 admiral, 1 sentence per person. There is no difference between what I said and what I didn't say. Sengoku snorted with anger. Now you say, what should I do with this matter? Perhaps it is a good thing. Lieutenant General Crane thought about something and said, this may still be an opportunity for our naval headquarters, maybe. If someone else said something like this, Sengoku of the Buddha must be angry and berate him for nonsense. But this sentence was said by Lieutenant General Crane, so it was completely different. Sengoku of Buddha calmly said, tell me about it. Lieutenant General Crane thought a little, and said, the Spirit King will definitely be watching Doflamingo's actions. Hueco Mundo hopes that Doflamingo's actions will be performed well in front of the Spirit King. What if we stop him? In the battle with the beasts Kaido, if we Marine wins, our performance will attract the attention of the Spirit King. Perhaps we can also gain some strength because of the Spirit King. Thinking of the power of Bullet. Don't talk about the Sengoku of Buddha. Even Akainu and others are breathing hot. At last. The Buddha Sengoku ordered. Kizaru, Akainu, Aokiji, and the 3 admiral will attack together. This time, we must succeed. 2 dogs fight, play off. If their naval headquarters perform well, even if they offend Aizen, they will be valued by the Spirit King. In this case, the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. And at the moment, Doflamingo appeared, and the news of becoming Arrancars finally spread across the sea. Chapter 205. Chapter 205 Hancock wants to be the maid of the Spirit King. Doflamingo once again appeared on this sea and became the terrible Arrancars. This news is now heading to every corner of the Grand Line. Here is the sea, the 9 snakes and pirates, 2 sea snakes pulling the pirate boat. Hancock stands on the deck, looking at the sea in front of her. At this moment, her subordinates hurried to follow with a stack of wanted orders, the female emperor reports. Master Hancock, this is the seagull raised by naval headquarters, the latest issue of wanted order dropped. When Hancock heard this, he couldn't help but feel some interest. You must know that since the destruction of the Holy Land Mary Geoise, the world seems to have temporarily quieted down. How could naval headquarters issue a new wanted order at this time? Hancock reached out to make the wanted order. Bring it here at will. When Hancock's beautiful eyes saw this latest wanted order, he couldn't help being shocked. Doflamingo, how come he is alive again, and he has become Arrancars? Hancock's surprised face made the surrounding female soldiers of the 9 snakes pirates pay attention one by one, but after they knew what had happened, they also screamed in disbelief. How could it be like this? Everyone has seen that Bullet has become a destructive power in the world of ninja, it is really terrible. Fortunately Bullet went to Hueco Mundo, instead of coming back to our sea, but now it is completely different. Doflamingo has also become Arrancars. Master Hancock, what should we do now? Yeah, Master Hancock, what should we do now? What should we do? Quote. Once Hancock became 7 warlords of the sea, one of the reasons was to protect his kingdom, but now it's completely different. Now how she protects them, Hueco Mundo doesn't care if you are 7 warlords of the sea. Category. With this wanted notice, Hancock was shocked. When Doflamingo was not Arrancars, Hancock felt that his victory or defeat was about 5 to 5 points. The wanted order says that Doflamingo is still about to fight Kaido. Doflamingo has the guts to do so, which shows that his current strength is growing very fast. Hancock can't help thinking now, what should he do now? Hancock's small mouth opened, but he couldn't speak, and couldn't think of any way to do it for a while. The female soldiers of the 9 snakes and pirates also looked at each other. Doflamingo is definitely an evil guy. Now that he has such a powerful power, he will definitely do some incredible and terrible things. How can this be good? Maybe there is only one way. What did Hancock think of at this time? Suddenly the gorgeous red lips opened slightly, he said so, and then lowered his head shyly. Hancock's shy expression was something the female fighters of the 9 snakes pirates had never seen before, and each of them was so shocked that their eyes were about to fall off. Master Hancock, what's wrong with you? Even Hancock's 2 younger sisters immediately asked, what happened to my sister? Yes, sister, did you think of something? You can tell us quickly. Seeing how curious the 2 younger sisters were, Hancock took a deep breath, and said shyly, as long as I can be the maid of His Majesty the Spirit King, whether it is, Hueco Mundo, or Soul Society, I dare not do it to us. What's the matter? We don't have anything to do. What? The female fighters of the 9 snakes and pirates stared one after another, and they were shocked not knowing what to say. Oh my god, how did Hancock say, they are also their king, and now they want to be a maid? But when you think about it carefully, Spirit King. That is a god-like existence. There seems to be nothing wrong with being his maid. The female soldiers of the 9 snakes and pirates looked at each other, and suddenly felt that Hancock's suggestion was okay. Read more at mtlarchive.com. Amazon Lily Kingdom, who would dare to offend in the future? In Hancock-sama's appearance, figure, etc. Your Majesty the Spirit King. How can you not love her? Now, the female soldiers of the 9 snake pirates have only one thought in their minds, and that is, posted. Master Hancock, are you really willing to make such a big sacrifice for our Amazon Lily? Yup, Master Hancock, are you really willing? Quote. Some female fighters were very moved. As the Emperor of the Amazon Lily Kingdom, I am willing to be a maid for them. Find flowers. Moving. Only some female fighters with clear minds suddenly felt a little envious of the female emperor. The appearance of the Spirit King. No one has seen it before. But the Spirit King is the king of all worlds, the supreme controller. Waiting for such a person, thinking about it carefully, seems to be an honor instead. Willing. Hancock seemed to see the Spirit King, reached out to him, and asked her, as if he was willing to get married. Suddenly, Hancock's white and moving cheeks were flushed, and finally fainted with shame. Master Hancock, what's wrong with you? Return to sail, let's talk about it when we go back. It's not just Hancock who got the news. 0. Hawkeye Mahawk was holding the newspaper, his eyes a little confused, what should I do now? Seaman Jinbei was invited by Neptune in the Fishman Island. Jinbei, now you can't leave the Fishman Island anymore. Look at Doflamingo and become Arrancars. If he comes to the Fishman Island, what should we do? It won't work without you. Neptune said with a look of fear. But it looks greedy for life and fear of death. Hexia Jinbei took a deep breath and promised that he would stay. But, in fact, if Doflamingo, who became Arrancars, came, we would have nothing to do with him. What? Neptune stayed. In fact, he knew there was no way, but he was lucky. But now Jinbei, the seaman, broke his fluke. Neptune panicked. Why has this world become so dangerous? He also watched the live broadcast. Bullet, this one wants to swallow, that one wants to swallow too. What if Doflamingo becomes like this and wants to swallow him, Neptune? It can be said, nowadays, many people are in panic on the sea, and so is the Golden Emperor. After Doflamingo died, in the underground world, the Golden Emperor has the final say, but now. The Golden Emperor was really afraid of Doflamingo coming to trouble him. At this moment of anxiety, Amazon Lily Kingdom. All Ishin made a decision that shocked the entire sea. Chuan. Chapter 206. Chapter 206 Transformation of Soul and Righteous Soul Pill. At this moment, the Spirit Palace Value Anchor Chen Tian is also a little surprised about Hancock's decision. Unexpectedly, this guy wanted to be his maid. Now the 5 guys of the 0 division are standing opposite Chen Tian, respectfully looking at Chen Tian's figure. They already know, in reality, the matter of the Amazon Lily King. What do you think about this matter? Chen Tian asked lightly. The monk Hyasub in the 0 division also looked at each other. Finally, Hikijo Kiryu said, Your Majesty Spirit King, let me take care of this matter. I believe that the result will be satisfactory to you. She is a fat-looking ant. But you can't judge people by appearance. She was also the captain of Urahara Kazuki's previous 12th division. Its deputy captain, Surugaki Hiyori, respected her like a mother. She is old acquaintance with the former 5th division captain Hiroko Shinji. Hikashu Kiryu also has an unusual background. Knowing that there was no concept of righteous soul pill before she created and transformed the soul, he used it to conceive it. Even if Hikashu Kiryu is a fat ant, her spiritual power is strong enough to suppress many Shinigami and Arrancars. In terms of spiritual power, she seems to be the top one. Does Hikashu Kiryu want to be in charge of this time? Chen Tian pondered for a while and nodded without hesitation. Go. Immediately, Reiatsu on Chen Tian's body was covered with Hikashu Kiryu, giving her the ability to leave the spirit palace and go to this world. Just go through the gate. Opening in front of him, Hikashu Kiryu also stepped out and left directly. At this moment, the monk of the Zero Division suddenly understood something, and felt that he was still amiss. Why, now that Ling Fan Li Temple hasn't appeared yet? Hikashu Kiryu is doing well now. No doubt, isn't it the first to appear in her Dolphin Hall? The other members of the Zero Division also thought of this, and suddenly said. ... The pirate world, Amazon Lily Kingdom, before the beach. Hancock stood there waiting. Sister, can the Spirit King really know our situation here? Quote. Spirit King, do you really know everything? Quote. Hancock heard the words of the sisters and the female warriors, her cheeks were still flushed and said, of course it is true, the great Spirit King, you must know what is going on here, you must know the concubine body wants. Talking. It seems to have fallen into a dream again. Granny Za is here too. Naughty, funny. Granny Za stomped her feet, and as an elder, she directly reprimanded. Hancock, do you think your majesty the Spirit King cares about you? I tell you, he. The crossing gate appears. For a while, there was silence. Who will come out? Hancock, Granny Zai and so on, all stared at the gate of crossing tightly. Who will come out? The gentle Unohana Retsu, or the captain of Byakuya Kuchiki and other squads? Or is it the Yamamoto Genryūsai, who is not angry and has infinite power? At last, she appeared. Comb the purple hair into a traditional hairstyle and wear a spatula-like hair accessory, and comb the purple hair into a traditional hairstyle and wear a spatula-like hair accessory. A plump lady with swirling patterns on her cheeks, black lip gloss and 2 belts. Hancock and others. Who is this? Hello, I am Hikashu Kiryu. I belong to the Zero Division. I am here to take Ms. Hancock with me. With a kind smile on her face, read more at mtlarchive.com. She glanced. Recognizing Hancock, he walked up enthusiastically and grabbed Hancock's hand. Hancock. So enthusiastic. It's not like Shinigami of the 13th Division at all. Granny Za stayed, and said in surprise, Excuse me, you are Gotei 13, which team is Shinigami? Gotei 13, Hikashu Kiryu said. No, I belong to the Zero team. Team Zero. These 3 words, called Hancock, were all stunned together. Does this team exist? They looked at each other together and secretly said, this should be the weakest team. How weak is it? Weak to the point of Gotei 13, not even admitting it. Okay, I'll go with you. Hancock said. Thinking that I would stay with His Majesty the Spirit King in the future, Hancock's mind somehow always showed up in the scene of marriage. Those with blushing cheeks don't know what to say. Correct. These things are for you. Hikijo Kiryu took out a bag of Yihanwan and gave it to Granny Za. What are these? Granny Za was puzzled and took it. If you have a puppet or something, you can give it to the puppet. Hikijo Kiryu said with a smile. Finished. She took Hancock into the barrier gate and disappeared. Granny Za took the Yihan pill in her palm, and she didn't know what it was. After looking at each other with the female warriors of the Amazon Lily. Take a puppet. Following Mother Za's words, Hancock's 2 younger sisters soon brought a lot of puppets. Snake puppet. Lion puppets. There are other kinds of puppets. Put the candy-like Yihan pill into their mouth. To be honest, Granny Za would really like to taste it herself and see how the food in the Spirit Palace is. At this time, the puppet, who looked at the lifeless puppet, suddenly changed horribly. This change, it's shocking enough. However, with a tiger's mouth, the tiger puppet suddenly moved as if it had a life. There was a terrible aura on his body, erupting, and sweeping across the country. Granny Zai and so on. Afterwards, the lion puppet, with a golden glow of Reiatsu, and the majestic vitality of life, began to move. Not just these 2 dolls. Other puppets. At this time, all of them moved. They waved their hands and feet. Those are the hands and feet of the puppets. It should be very cute when moving. But feeling the terrible power revealed by the puppet's punch and kick. Granny Za waited for the shock but didn't know what to say. Good. So strong. How do I feel that each one is comparable to Marine Admiral? Yeah, I think so too, even if it's not as good as Marine Admiral, it's definitely Admiral. This strength. The grandma and others at the scene were all dumbfounded. Many women of Amazon Lily were attracted here, all stunned. Right now, the news here also spread. When it spread to naval headquarters. Sengoku of Buddha, where's the peach rabbit? And Hina, Ain, Khalifa, and marine beauties, there are actually quite a few. Why haven't I thought of this method before? Sengoku of Buddha is depressed. But when I think about it carefully, I didn't think of this method, but I didn't dare to think about it. It's all right now, being ahead of Hancock. Lieutenant General Crane also stood aside, watching the Buddha Sengoku look like this, knowing that he was in a nightmare, he coughed and coughed. Sengoku of the Buddha came back to his senses and stared at Lieutenant General Crane. He sighed when he thought of the beautiful face of Lieutenant General Crane when he was young and Marine had a flower. It is a pity that when he is old, the Spirit King will not look at him. Lieutenant General Crane. After a pause, he said, Sengoku, I know you won't do this. This kind of thing depends on whether Taotu and the others are willing. Sengoku nodded. He is not a person who can push good for X. Now, Kaido also got the news. I have a daughter. Chapter 207. Hancock can actually do this to gain strength. Beast Kaido can't help but think of his daughter Yamato. It would be great if my daughter could be obedient, but I thought of what my daughter did in her daily life. Kaido, the beast now, has a headache. Kaido agrees with his casual and straightforward style, but his daughter admires Kazuki Oden. Ever since, when Yamato was 8 years old, Beast Kaido threatened her with a bomb bracelet. She just became quieter. Do not. I Kaido on myself, I don't need to rely on women. Doflamingo, do you think you can beat me? Compared with Beast's pirates, Don Quixote's cadres are still too weak. On overall strength, Kaido, the beast now, doesn't believe that he will lose. This is the Wong Street before the Spirit Palace. Now, Haikashu Kiryu stepped out and walked towards the Spirit Palace in front of him. Hancock also took steps. Boom. When I took a step, I suddenly felt a terrible reiatsu, suppressing the soul. Hancock's face is pale. Almost forgot, you can't do it yet. This made Haikashu Kiryu also think. With these 18 things, you can't even walk, so how can you go in front of the Great Spirit King? Now, Hancock couldn't believe this too. Is it difficult for me to even take a step? Hancock is also arrogant. Why did she become 7 warlords of the sea? Naturally because of power. Right now, she gritted her teeth. Reluctantly took a step, when the pressure in the soul became more and more serious. Sweat, suddenly flowing down from his forehead. It's really hard. Step 2. She gritted her teeth and stepped out again. Inside the Spirit Palace, Haikashu Kiryu has already come here. And Hancock. But he was not qualified to enter the Spirit Palace. Chen Tian nodded. Hancock, now he is not qualified enough to be his maid. Ding, 20% from the Temple of Ling Fan. Ding, please choose a temple. Chen Tian sat on the throne. Whole body reiatsu, entangled, great and not offensive. Chen Tian stretched out his finger. It's done well, now I'll give you, the Dolphin Hall. As his voice fell, Haikashu Kiryu knew that the Dolphin Hall had appeared. He smiled suddenly. Monk and others. Ding, congratulations on getting 100,000 shock points of Sengoku of Buddha. Ding, congratulations on getting 100,000 shock points for Peach Rabbit. Ding, congratulations on getting Hina 100,000 shock points. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. Hancock, become the maid of the Spirit Palace. Amazon Lily has got a group of quasi-admiral power. This incident shocked the entire sea. There are many beauties in naval headquarters. At this moment, they are also hesitating to sacrifice themselves to fulfill naval headquarters. If they die, can make naval headquarters grow, they don't care. But become a maid, read more at mtlarchive.com. It seems to be glory. But what if the Spirit King does that kind of thing to himself? Thought of here. Rao is a peach rabbit, his cheeks can't help but blush. Neptune of the Fish-Men Island is also meditating. He also has a daughter, Bai Xing. But thinking of the particularity of Bai Xing. Neptune. Unfortunately, I don't have a second daughter. Time. Finally came this day. Dressrosa. Doflamingo is back. The cadres stood behind him one by one. But for the position of the king, who is now Arrancars, he really looks down on a bit of infighting. Even if the Liku family is afraid and wants to give up the throne again. Doflamingo didn't want it either. What he wants now is the location of Espada. This is the bullfighting arena. Now, hundreds of people. The large arena in Dressrosa is usually a martial arts tournament of sword fighters, and occasionally large tournaments are held. Doflamingo has arrived. The cadre is behind Doflamingo. The live broadcast of Insects is also live broadcast of this scene. Pirates are watching all over the world. Haweko Mundo is actually watching. Aizen looked elegant at the moment. He knew that if Doflamingo could defeat Kaido, the shock would definitely be big enough. Ichimaru Jin, Tusen Konami. Just by your side. Soul Society. Yamamoto Genryūsai and others are also watching this scene. Arrancars. It appears to be the enemy of Gotei 13. But Yamamoto Genryūsai did not give the order immediately. Mao Spiritual Academy. In the classroom, this live broadcast in this world is also playing. Right now, Guina, Scarlet, Might Die etc. watched the live broadcast. Among them, Scarlet's expression fluctuates the most. To know, she was once the princess of Dressrosa. Unexpectedly, I could see my hometown again. She searched for her daughter's figure, but unfortunately, she hasn't seen it yet. But she also knows that going back by herself can only be a drag. At present, all she has to do is to study hard in the Mao Spiritual Academy and become Shinigami. Now, in the bullfighting arena, many people are watching Doflamingo. The clothes on his body have changed. This is what Arrancars looks like. Doflamingo's jaws are covered with white bones. His overall image is completely different from before. The bullfighting arena, the 8 treasures marines, and people from other forces all looked at each other. How powerful is Doflamingo today? Boom boom boom. Suddenly, the dark clouds obscured the sky. Roar. The cry of monsters is endless. Boom. The earth is also shaking at this moment. At last, a long dragon appeared. Then, toothless pterosaurs. In midair, accompanied by a long dragon. Not just that. The giant beast also appeared, ramming into the bullfighting arena, and for a while, the city wall was cracked, the dust was flying, and the scene was mammoth. Many people jumped up one by one, so as not to be affected by the pond fish. Right now, Beast's Pirates has finally arrived. Doflamingo, you have changed, so you dare to provoke me. The long winding dragon in the high altitude opened his mouth fiercely. Kaido, don't talk so much nonsense, now surrender to my strength. Doflamingo shouted. Long Dragon is furious. The guy who was terrified of himself in the past. Do you dare to look like this in front of yourself now? Long said. Suddenly. Boom. The dragon's breath is displayed. The terrible power, from top to bottom, broke everything, carrying unstoppable power, and went to the Doflamingo below. Broken 5-color strings. String fruit has long been transformed into the power of Reiatsu. Right now, the lines are dense, breaking through directly. The two offensives collided together. Rumble. The power of both is eliminated at the same time. The aftermath moved towards the surroundings. Bullfighting arena. Click, endless collapse. 100 Beasts Kaido turned into a long dragon snorted, don't think he will lose. His Beasts Pirates are so many. The three major disasters, now together with Kaido, are ready to do it. Facing a trap. Doflamingo laughed. Let you see the power after returning home. Back to the edge. These two words attract everyone's attention. Chapter 208. Go to the edge. When Doflamingo said these two words, everyone was surprised. But it fell on everyone's ears in Beasts Pirates, but it was like a thunder and a half roar. At this moment, Soul Society, watching the live broadcast of the students of the Mao Spiritual Academy, was also staring. Now, the teacher for this class is Uchiha Kazuki. He looked at the puzzled classmates, and slowly began to speak. Guibian, it can also be called sword liberation, which is Arrancars' exclusive skill. By liberating the nucleus, in the shape of Zanpakuto and restoring the original appearance of the virtual, it is a way to enhance combat effectiveness. Quote. After a pause, he said again, Shikai and Bankai equivalent to Shinigami. The student's mermaid tiger, Princess Otahime, Guina waited a little. The world of the sea. Spit it, Flamingo. At this time Doflamingo, the whole momentum has almost undergone earth-shaking changes. The whole person seems more like an ostrich. The tolerance and so on are completely different. Doflamingo, I don't know what your home edge is, but do you think that you can compete with me? The long winding dragon in the sky said solemnly. Really? Then try. Doflamingo said disdainfully. The thread lingers. Immediately, Doflamingo was the first move after releasing the return. In an instant, around Quinn and Jack, the second of the three major plagues, countless lines appeared. Before Quinn and Jack hadn't reacted. The lingering of the line directly wrapped the two of Quinn and Jack, and then the line contracted at an incredible speed. Their observation hockey is not bad, but they didn't notice it. Everyone around only heard a brutal and screaming cry, and the two groups of thread balls were no longer alive. See this scene. Whether it was Kaido or the others at Beasts Pirates, their complexions were instantly stiff. As for all the people who were watching the battle through the live broadcast, many of them, at this time, their hearts were also severely pumped, and they took a breath of cold air. Died. That's how Quinn and Jack are. The two of them are the top executives in Beasts Pirates. It's Kaido's powerful assistant. But now, it was given a second by Doflamingo. Boom. The people of Beasts Pirates who had reacted completely exploded the pot. Shout. Anger. Roar. The entire bullfighting arena was in an uproar. Queen. Jack. Kaido's eyes are splitting, his body is trembling, and his pupils are constantly turning red. Quinn and Jack are important in Beasts Pirates. But it was easily killed by Doflamingo. Anger. Roar. Kaido really hates Doflamingo at this moment. It's not just him. The people of Beasts Pirates next to each other were gritted their teeth. Kill this bastard and avenge Quinn and Jack. We go together. We must not let him leave alive, otherwise, how can we Beasts Pirates stand? At this moment, the bullfighting arena is completely messed up. As for Doflamingo, he stretched slightly, as if he had just trampled 2 ants to death, his expression extremely calm. His eyes rolled. Read more at mtlarchive.com. Huh. The sharp-eye pupils looked straight at the people who clamored for Beasts Pirates. And with that, Doflamingo looked all over. Huh. All the roars, angers, and screams came to an abrupt end. The people of Beasts Pirates, who had been filled with righteous indignation, stepped back again and again. Shocked. The look in his eyes, accompanied by Reiatsu's oppression, frightened the people of Beasts Pirates. In this scene, the corners of the mouths of all the people watching the battle were twitched. Bring it on. At this time, Doflamingo was confident that he could beat the entire Beasts Pirates. Come on together. I'm in a hurry. Wow. As soon as Doflamingo said this, the bullfighting arena was once again in an uproar. Okay. What an arrogant Doflamingo. I will fulfill you today. Kaido's eyes were bloodshot at this time, and he stared at Doflamingo. His eyes were complicated and full of hatred. Talk about it. I saw Kaido waved his dragon claw. People of Beasts Pirates, come on. The voice just fell. Hoop. Moment. All the members of Beast's pirates, like the sky and stormy waves, instantly surged in the direction of Doflamingo. War. 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 The frantic battle officially began. One by one, Devil Fruit's abilities are constantly displayed. See this scene. The people watching in the bullfighting arena all looked extremely excited. This is fighting. This kind of battle is worth seeing. Boom. Boom. Rumble. Deafening sounds continued to resound. A wave of air from the center of the bullfighting arena spread wildly in all directions. Click. Click. The venue of the bullfighting arena was almost wiped out. Thunder. Kaido in the form of a dragon at this time performed this trick. Suddenly, a dragon's sound resounded, and then, the dragon's sound turned into a thunder and lightning, sweeping towards Doflamingo's direction. Obviously, Kaido at this moment wants to use this trick to contain Doflamingo and create opportunities for damage and even kills to other members of Beast's pirates. But, Doflamingo today is not the same as before. He has already acquired Arrancars' ability. His strength is far from what Kaido knows about Doflamingo. Seeing Kaido's thunder, Doflamingo's mouth curled up with a curve of disdain. Quote. The King of Threads. Quote. Suddenly, countless lines shot out from Doflamingo's body, spreading in the direction of the members of Beast's pirates. In the process of shooting this line, it was carrying a strong destructive force, directly on the field of the bullfighting arena, drew a series of small cracks. Puff, 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 under the gaze of everyone's suspicion. The innumerable lines pierced through the bodies of many Beast's pirates members. Immediately, scarlet blood began to splash out, just in a moment, it almost dyed the bullfighting arena grounds red. This scene, falling in Kaido's eyes, shocked Kaido a bit. He didn't expect Doflamingo's strength to become so strong and so terrible. At this moment, whether it was Kaido or the remaining members of Beast's pirates, they all became a little crazy. They were killed by Dovran, Li Qian's Ming, but their companions were their companions who explored the Great Waterway together, but now, they have fallen here forever and ever. How does this make them? Can you accept it? Kill. They were full of indignation and launched a new round of attacks on Doflamingo. This time, they did not keep a trace of their hands. Boom, boom, rumble, attacks one after another. Constantly colliding with each other in the bullfight arena. After a series of battles. On the entire platform, the people of Beast's pirates lie in a densely packed manner. Even Kaido's long dragon has bloodstains all over it. Baiju Kaido has never suffered such an injury. Kaido, you're done. And just when Doflamingo was feeling the joy of victory, when he was about to attack Kaido. Whoosh whoosh, a few flew from a distance. Everyone took a look. It's the three admiral of naval headquarters. Behind them is a group of marines. Two dogs fight, play off. Celery. Chapter 209. Are you trying to challenge me? Doflamingo looked at Marine 3 Admiral Akainu, Aokiji and Kizaru lightly. Akainu, Kizaru, and Aokiji lined up in a row, standing in front of Doflamingo at this time. Of course, there are still a group of lieutenants, but these people, Doflamingo did not pay attention to them. At this time, his eyes were completely focused on Marine San Admiral. Aokiji looked calm and composed, looking directly at Doflamingo. When he saw Doflamingo, it was clear that Doflamingo at this time was not the same him as before. He has changed a lot. There was a strong breath from all over his body. On the other hand, Akainu, with his face full of mad fighting, said, "What? Don't you dare. If you want to fight, then fight." Doflamingo heard Marine San Admiral's words and shouted angrily, "Now my strength is enough to make you surrender." Hear the words. Marine 3 Admiral is angry. Kizaru smiled and said, "Doflamingo, you beat Kaido. I'm so scared." Speaking of this, Kizaru made a very scared look. It looks a little funny. However, knowing Kizaru and Kizaru's character is very clear. His fear is sometimes a storytelling in his mouth. Doflamingo, who used to be 7 warlords of the sea, now dares to be so arrogant. This really annoyed Marine 3 Admiral. In a flash. Marine 3 Admiral and a group of lieutenants, they no longer have the slightest nonsense, and directly attacked Doflamingo. Spitfire. In an instant. Composed of lava, powerful enough to smash and evaporate a large iceberg in an instant, a huge lava fist attacked and whizzed out in the direction of Doflamingo. The speed of light. Kizaru accumulates photons on his calf and kicks the leg out at the speed of light. Freezing time capsule. Aokiji jumped far away first, and released air-conditioned pellets from a long distance, trying to freeze Doflamingo. Fire, light, ice. Appeared in the bullfight arena almost at the same time. Call out, shoo. Each of the marine members displayed the ability of Devil Fruit. Suddenly, in the bullfighting arena, there was a burst of murderous intent, swept in, and the violent air wave completely enveloped Doflamingo. 50 meters, 10 meters, 5 meters, ... The Spirit Palace. Ding, congratulations on getting 100,000 horror points of Babao Shuijun green pepper. Ding, congratulations on getting 100,000 shock points from King Liku. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. Ding, congratulations on getting the Yamy of Espada. Close black lens bracket, read more at mtlarchive.com. Chen Tian nodded. At the same time, another side mission, ding, 40% from the Temple of Ling Fan. Chen Tian looked at the 0 team in front of him. The monk waited a glance at each other, whose palace should be appearing this time. Chen Tian also thought. At the same time, he put Yamy out. Whether it was Marine 3 Admiral or Marine's attack, at this time, it was only 2 or 3 meters away, and it bombarded Doflamingo's body. At this time, everyone at Marine had a crazy look on their faces. And see this scene. Whether it's the people watching on the spot. The people who watched the live broadcast through the phone worm were all puzzled. What's wrong with Doflamingo? Yes, is it because the battle with Kaido's beasts pirates just now exhausted him? I don't think it should be. Just now, although Doflamingo looks a little tired, he still doesn't even have the power to dodge the naval headquarters. Wire cage. However, just at this time. Boom, boom, rumble, a scene that made almost everyone unbelievable appeared. Around Doflamingo's body, a small protective cover made up of threads appeared, wrapping Doflamingo's whole person. As a result, whether it was Marine 3 Admiral or Marine's Lieutenant General's attacks, all of them bombarded the protective cover of that line, and there was a series of earth-shaking noises. Senseless. In this scene, Marine's Lieutenant Generals frowned, and there was a touch of shock on their faces, and they could hardly believe their eyes. When did Doflamingo's birdcage become so powerful? Can they stop the attacks of so many naval headquarters generals? This really makes them puzzled. But, do you have this strength? Doflamingo, who removed the wire cage, looked at the naval headquarters and said lightly, if you only have these strengths, you should obediently submit to my power. Boom. This passage from Doflamingo. Surprisingly, Marine 3 Admiral, and those lieutenants glared at King Kong. Doflamingo is too arrogant. They are the generals of naval headquarters, how can you be able to resist one of your little 7 warlords of the sea? Mindful of this, Akainu, Kizaru and Aokiji, the 3 of them gave Lieutenant General Marine a few glances. Immediately after, everyone rushed forward and fought with Doflamingo. The cadres of Doflamingo are also rushing to help together. Suddenly, boom, boom, rumble, above the bullfighting arena, shockingly, there was a series of loud noises. A wave of collisions of moves could not stop sweeping in all directions and impact on the audience stage. This naturally made some people on the audience stage feel extremely scared, and all of them got up and retreated a little far away to watch this shocking battle. The other side. Soul Society. The students and others in the Mao Spiritual Academy watched this scene intently. Doflamingo's strength is very strong. It has reached the 3rd seat, and even the rank of deputy captain. It is not a weak one to play against Marine 3 Admiral. Yeah, this also shocked me a bit. You know, Doflamingo just fought Kaido's beasts pirates, and didn't take a long break, so he once again devoted himself to fighting Marine 3 Admiral and many lieutenants. In battle. Among the students, there is Corazon. He looked at his brother with a complex expression. Thinking of his ruthlessness, Corazon clenched his fists. I will also be Shinigami. Yes, for a while, everyone watching the battle couldn't see whether Doflamingo and Marine Admiral were strong or weak, and who could win the final victory. And just when Doflamingo and Marine San Admiral played inextricably. Stab. A hole was torn open. This is the ability to emptiness. A very large figure with dark skin and black hair emerged from the inside. This person is no one else, but Yamy. Chapter 210. The appearance of Yamy. Surprisingly, the fighting between the two sides came to a halt. Doflamingo noticed the number 10 on Yamy and couldn't help but snorted, while Marine San Admiral and others, they all looked at Yamy with a puzzled look. Obviously, they all want to know what this guy wants to do. Stop it, you are playing too slow. Soon, a word from Yamy was to let everyone know what was going on. He looked at Doflamingo and continued. Let me fight them. When Doflamingo heard what Yamy said, he was only taken aback for a while, thinking of something, but listened to Yamy saying, since he is a subordinate officer, he should be obedient. Doflamingo sneered, then stepped aside. Correct. He is now one of Espada's subordinate officers. It's time to listen to Yamy. But Doflamingo won't just stay here. At the same time, Doflamingo also knows that even if he and Marine Admiral are in the dark, they may not be divided into wins and losses. I am afraid that they will take several days. If this is the case, it is better to let Yamy fight with them. And Akainu, Kizaru, and Aokiji were a little shocked in their hearts. They got the power of Arrancars, and the arrogant Doflamingo is actually this guy's subordinate. This guy is one of Espada. Their eyes were also attracted by the number 10 on Yamy. War. Marine 3 Admiral Akainu, Kizaru and Aokiji, almost at the same time, roared in unison. Wow, Lieutenant General Marine heard this as if a floodgate was opened. One by one, they released their skills one after another, forming a torrent of killing intent, sweeping away in the direction of Yamy. This scene, let the look of everyone who watched the battle shone with fear. However, when they saw that Yamy's complexion was indifferent, everyone became attentive. They all wanted to know how Yamy would defeat Marine 3 Admiral and those lieutenants. Steel skin. Upon seeing this, Yamy performed this trick. Suddenly, his body was covered by armor-like skin that was impenetrable even with swords. It is said to have high Reiatsu hardness. Bang, 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 bang. The attacks of Marine Lieutenant Generals completely blasted on the steel skin, and there were bursts of crisp sounds, but no matter how they attacked, the Marine Lieutenant General's attacks were never able to blast away the steel skin that Yamy displayed. See this scene. On the expressions of Marine's lieutenant generals, there was a touch of surprise after another. Seireitei. At this time, Yamy immediately released its Reiatsu after being highly concentrated. A flash of majestic destructive power blasted from Yamy's mouth. Boom, boom, boom. After the release of Yamy's Seireitei. Suddenly, Lieutenant Marine, who was not far from Yamy, killed all of them. Ice cubes. Storm pheasant mouth. Upon seeing this, Aokiji gathered the cold air on his right arm and released a powerful ice bird in the direction of Yamy. Wherever the ice bird goes, the air is directly frozen by it. But boom. Read more at mtlarchive.com. Many marine generals are dead. The resulting aftermath, at this time, is sweeping away in all directions. Chi 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 chi. It directly distorted the surrounding air. Immediately after, Akainu and Kizaru, the two of them didn't hesitate at all, they just flashed forward. The dog bites the red lotus. This is an assault technique. Akainu turned into a dog-shaped arm with a lava, and directly attacked Yamy. Sky Kong Yunjian. As for Kizaru, at this moment, he accumulated all the photons in his hand, suddenly forming a sword of light and attacking Yamy. Kill them, angry beasts. Upon seeing this, Yamy sang. A wave of trembling coercion suddenly began, covering all the people present. Gulong, Gulong. Feel the pressure from Yamy. The audience around them all swallowed a few mouthfuls involuntarily. This coercion is too strong. Immediately afterwards, the rank number on Yamy's left shoulder changed from number 10 to number 0. He was the only Arrancars in Espada whose rank number would change after returning to the sword. After returning to the blade, now Yamy's body will become extremely large, with 12 feet, making Akainu, Kizaru and Aokiji, and Marine Lieutenant Generals, in Yamy's eyes, they are as small and weak as ants. In this scene, Akainu, Kizaru and Aokiji, as well as Marine Lieutenant Generals were all taken aback. However, when they have not yet reacted to the aftertaste, the monster launched a fierce attack. 100 meters. 50 meters. Find flowers. 30 meters. At this moment, the distance between the two sides is fast and close, and a bloody battle is on the verge. As for the marine lieutenants at the forefront of Yamy, before they woke up, the monsters had already appeared in front of them. Boom, boom, boom. A series of powerful murderous intents were released from the monster's body, and he slaughtered Lieutenant General Marine in front of him frantically. Terror. Just for a moment, he directly obliterated the digital Lieutenant General. The surrounding earth and rocks are flying. A mess, like a hurricane of death rolled up in a bullfight arena. At this moment, the Marine admirals clearly felt that the coercion emanating from this monster was a strange air current, which was full of violent and killing. Yamy raised his hand and attacked Marine 3 Admiral. Suddenly, under the horrified eyes of everyone, Yamy's attacking palm began to linger with a trace of red light. This is the strong breath. Marine 3 Admiral sees this. Without a trace of hesitation, his body shape flashed, leaving his original position. Rumble. When Yamy's palm fell, there was a fierce tremor in the whole world, and the ground that Yamy was attacking, even at this time, was instantly blasted out of a huge pit. Earth and rocks are flying, smoke and dust are everywhere. Tick, tick. All the people who watched the battle saw this scene. Those who did not know Yamy were all at this moment. On their foreheads, drops of cold sweat overflowed, slid across their cheeks and dripped to the ground. Yamy was furious when he saw that he hadn't hit Marine 3 Admiral. I want you to die. Yamy roared. Talk about it. Yamy moved. Fury. At this time, Yamy will store his strength through long-term eating and sleeping behaviors, and burst out through anger when needed. Suddenly, his figure became bigger and bigger. The Reiatsu possessed by him also received a qualitative increase at this time, and his attack power was greatly improved. Immediately afterwards, Yamy continuously attacked the position of Marine 3 Admiral, and one after another red light burst out from Yamy's body. Chew on. Chapter 211. The majestic breath, and the blood-red light that penetrates the sky and the earth, suddenly swept out of the terrifying beast, the angry beast, and under the impact of this terrible breath, Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru, and all the people around, their power seems insignificant in such a contrast. When they came to the bullfighting arena, there were many forces who watched the battle with their own eyes. Among them were the 8 Treasure Water Army, Sabo of the Revolutionary Army and others. Now they were dumbfounded to feel the damn and terrifying breath. Yamy, who was already strong enough, is now an angry beast because of his anger. The skyrocketing breath took it to the next level, causing everyone to be extremely shocked. No one thought that the 10th among Espada was already so strong. You must know that they have seen the power of Ukiora. It was only seen in the live broadcast, and now they are personally experiencing the 10th power of Espada, and they can feel it. It couldn't be easier for such a power to destroy them. At this moment, Marine 3 Admiral Akainu, Aokiji, and Kizaru, who are directly facing this angry beast, their pupils suddenly widened, and Kizaru's forehead was dripping with cold sweat. The so-called Marine 3 Admiral, I am afraid that the situation is bad now. Luo with Op Fruit is also here now. He looked ahead, the terrible pressure from the angry beast's body called Luo's eyes. The solemnity cannot be described in words. And there are many pirates around him. They are all supernovas. Among the pirates, they are also very powerful. One of them is Bartolomeo, nicknamed the Ogre, and has a barrier fruit. The scared face was pale and said, "Today Naval Headquarters is afraid that the loss will be very serious." The handsome pirates, Cavendish riding a white horse, also said in shock, "It will die, right?" The angry beast appeared. Arrancars Doflamingo took the cadres and retreated far away. The angry beast's feet one after another, as well as its tail, are constantly attacking the past. It is really terrifying. The carrier can destroy all the power that destroys the decay. The marine lieutenant will be swept by the tail and directly slammed his body. It broke apart and turned into blood mist. You must know that Lieutenant Marine is placed in the ocean, and he can definitely be regarded as a pirate-level existence. Unceremoniously, the era of pirates is completely over. Qing Zhao, the leader of the 8th Treasure Marine Army, said with great dread now. He was appointed head, gradually, but because Garp's power had dented directly, he thought that Garp was the strongest person in this sea, but the angry beast in front of him, called Qing Zhao, didn't dare at all do it with each other. Before that, Aokiji, Akainu and Kizaru, they all looked at each other. They know that if they don't work hard now and don't use more power than usual, Marine 3 Admiral will definitely die here today. Thinking of this, Akainu, Aokiji, and Kizaru all roared suddenly, and then the power of devil fruit along with the extremely majestic breath also madly diffused through the body. At this moment, Dressrosa's sky was covered by dark clouds, and the beast Kaido, scarred, had already escaped here and was allowed to run to the country of Wano. Now there is lightning and thunder, lava is constantly emerging on the ground, the cold air in the space is moving far, and there are endless beams of light that shuttle out from different directions. Dressrosa now looked as if the end had come. Thick dark clouds gathered in the sky of Dressrosa quickly, becoming more and more dense. It was originally daytime, but now it suddenly turned into night, with quite amazing vibrations resounding in the space. Akainu, his eyes are also burning with blood-red light. Aokiji's face is cold. Kizaru is also extremely serious. Now the 3 admiral shots at the same time, representing the red ray of lava, the blue ray of ice, and the yellow ray of light. They immediately gathered together, with a breath that has never been seen before. Immediately, blasted directly up, in the air, all the atoms broke apart one by one. This combined light, carrying an astonishing momentum, suppressed the angry beast. 3 admirals teaming up. This is something that has never happened before. Read more at mtlarchive.com. At this moment, everyone is fleeing here. Standing nearest was Doflamingo and his cadre, and there was a guy standing on the other side, with his eyes closed, and he was actually saving the crowded people who were pushed to the ground. Doflamingo couldn't help but take a look at this guy. Now everyone cares about fleeing, how can someone kindly help others? This guy has short black hair, a beard around his mouth, closed eyes, and a scar on the left side of his forehead. Wearing a lavender kimono with a black and purple belt. Bandages on the arms and wooden shoes on the feet. The blind man with a stick and knife helps the people around him. At this time, Doflamingo knew it was not the time to pursue who this guy was. Doflamingo looked over. 3 Admiral tried his best, the gathered power, now madly facing the angry beast. The space where the light beam reaches was actually distorted. At this moment, the ground crazily collapsed, and huge cracks spread quickly towards the surroundings. Everyone can see that the 3 Admiral at this moment have already tried their best. Use their methods to the extreme. After this blow, San Admiral will also run out of energy. At that time, he is not far from death. Yamy, who had become an angry beast, roared in anger. A terrible voice resounded through this Dressrosa. This kingdom has been completely reduced to ruins, everyone is running away. King Liku knew that everything was over. I thought Doflamingo was dead. Marine came to help him, the Liku clan will rise again. But who can think of it? Just because of the fighting in the bullfighting arena. The whole Dressrosa is collapsing, the land collapses, and the sea sinks. Right now, Seireitei angrily opened the mouth of the blood basin, the blood-red light in the mouth was gathering. Hasn't sprayed out yet, the already called space is shaking. Finally, among countless shocking gazes, Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru and their beams are about to hit the angry beast. Seireitei of the angry beast is also preparing to jet over at this moment. By the time, the angry Seireitei will break the beams of Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru, etc. After that, Seireitei is immortal. Push directly all the way horizontally. Eliminate Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru. When the anger was about to do it, when Seireitei was about to spray away. Gravity knife tiger. At this moment, the blind man Doflamingo had just noticed, suddenly shot. Suddenly, a force of gravity hit Yamy's head directly, and he was opening his mouth, preparing to spray Seireitei, because when his mouth was closed, it exploded directly in his body. At the same time, the beams of Akainu and others have smashed past. Rumble. The world is shaking. Chapter 212. Chapter 212 The Advent of Ukiora. The rumbling, the sound of impact, shaking the sky and shaking the sea. A bright and violent aftermath immediately rippled out, with devastating terrible fluctuations, and all the buildings in Dressrosa were destroyed at this moment. Rumble. The entire island seems to be deeply distorted by a strong force, the space is collapsing, and everyone is fleeing. This guy actually smashed Marine 3 Admiral at the last moment. Doflamingo's gaze immediately turned to the man who seemed blind with his eyes closed. He could feel that the opponent's hand just now was enough to have Admiral level of strength. This is already at the peak level of combat power in today's present world. To be honest, if Tengu smiled just now, it was not a sudden action at a critical time, but he had stood in front of the angry beasts from the beginning, with Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru and others, fearing that the ending would only be wiped out by Yamy. Even if Marine has 4 admiral ranks, if you want to deal with Yamy, you will not be able to defeat Yamy if you don't know the information about its strength after the 18th. Now booming, where the angry beast Yamy transformed into is now standing, the mushroom cloud is constantly rising, so I don't know if the angry beast has been wiped out. Doflamingo doesn't care about this. Of course, if Yamy dies this is a good thing for Doflamingo. Although it can also be said to belong to Hueco Mundo, now, and his immediate boss is Aizen. Hueco Mundo is originally a cruel place. Only strong enough can become a Spada. It is the world where you eat me and I eat you. Doflamingo, I hope that after Yamy's death, a Spada's position will fall on him. But at this moment, Akainu, Aokiji, and Kizaru have completely lost their energy. Kizaru is lying on the ground and has no energy to move again. Aokiji is squatting, panting, and Akainu gritted his teeth, with his head held high. What a terrible collision. Luo and the other pirates on the hillside in the distance looked at the source of the dazzling light, the astonishing fluctuations emanating from there, and the mushroom cloud that has not disappeared yet. They had to look solemn. To be honest, they had never seen such a battle with their own eyes before. It was horrible. The aftermath alone was called Dressrosa, and the island was completely shattered and collapsed. Who the hell won? Has that terrible monster been wiped out? Whether it's the pirate marine, the revolutionary army, or the 8 treasure marines, they are now nervously looking at the fragmented place, there. The offensive was too fierce, and such a confrontation made them feel lucky to think that the angry beast should have been wiped out. Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru, etc. are also staring at the smoke that is gradually disappearing. Marine 3 Admiral has no ability to fight anymore now. Even the Fujitora on the side smiled, knowing that he suddenly made a surprise. This kind of thing was effective the first time, but it would not have any effect the second time. At last, the dust and smoke will gradually begin to disappear. At this moment, everyone's gaze suddenly looked over, and under their gaze, observation hockey, the smoke slowly dissipated. At last, gradually see clearly, the original figure of the angry beast has disappeared. There were 2 figures standing there, one of them was Yamy, who now had a fierce look. Before Yamy is another thin figure. He put one hand in front of him at this moment. Seeing this scene, everyone's hearts, at this moment, suddenly raised up. The boss stared at them, and everything seemed silent at the moment. It's Ukiora, someone cried out in surprise. It was Ukiora who reached out just now and stopped Marine San Admiral's all-out blow. For a while, everyone was surprised and didn't know what to say. No doubt, Ukiora, who reached out just now, with one hand, took the offensive of the 3 Admiral, which is really terrible. Yamy behind Ukiora gritted his teeth in irritation. Read more at mtlarchive.com. Just now, he is really going to get hurt. When I think of myself as an angry beast, being surrounded by something the size of a group of ants. Got hurt. Yamy's eyes burned wildly with anger. Thought of here. Yamy is about to start. Ukiora reached out his hand and made a black hole. Master Aizen, calling you. Ukiora said lightly. Yamy nodded. He glanced at the audience and snorted. I will let you go for a while. Now, Ukiora enters the black hole. Yamy also turned around. Spare us. Akainu scanned the audience. The figure of Ryūjin marine soldiers was no longer visible. The hawk lieutenant who followed him was even more deadly clean. Now, the life of his Akainu was forgiven by others. Thought of this. What? Akainu yells. He was out of breath, and he couldn't even use the power of devil fruit. The flesh fist hit the ground directly, dripping with blood. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations on getting the Akainu 1 million shock list close black lens bracket. Ding. Congratulations on getting 100,000 shock points with Fujitora's smile. Ding. Congratulations on getting 100,000 shock points. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. Within the spirit palace, the corner of Chen Tian's mouth was smiling. This battle, the shock was big enough. Ding. Congratulations on getting the 9th of Espada, Alonio. Chen Tian casually, lost again. Lost to the pirate world. Now, Ukiora, Yamy has left. Akainu gritted his teeth. His anger was not vented. Brew. Right now, the phone worm on my body rang. Akainu took out the phone worm. This phone worm does not seem to have much strength. Right now, Sengoku's voice came from the phone bug. I already know the situation, now I will come back immediately to start the world conscription plan. Akainu nodded. When he was about to say something. What? Suddenly, Aronio appeared. This guy's performance in the original, Shinigami, is different from those of Espada who want to fight against the strong. This guy obviously picks the soft persimmon, so he chose Rukia from our protagonist group as his opponent. Right now, it was a sneak attack from behind. No longer had the strength to use Devil Fruit's elemental Akainu, his chest was broken open. Seeing this scene, Aokiji and others could not help but yell, Sakazuki. As the power of Devil Fruit. The taste is almost the same as that of Virtual. In this case, I should be able to. Then everyone saw a terrible scene. Chapter 213. They saw a very frightening scene, Alonio, wearing a white robe. This guy who looks like a monster at all. Among them is a glass cylinder like an inverted test tube, firmly connected to the body with a metal ring, and covered with a metal sheet on the back. The cylinder is filled with a red, unknown liquid, and two small Arrancars with only heads are floating in the liquid. Akainu was completely swallowed in the next moment. This enrichment method was completely different from bullets, and even more terrifying, and then they saw that Arrancar's head gradually changed into a different look, becoming Akainu's face. But this guy is definitely not Akainu. From this guy, Aokiji and others felt a very strange reiatsu, cold and disgusting. At the same time, Akainu, one of Marine's 3 admiral, ended his life in this way. This scene made everyone stare, and their mood was very complicated. In any case, no one thought that Akainu would end up today. You must know that Akainu's performance was the bravest among Marine 3 admiral, but now, it has become like this. Many people looked at each other, their eyes were shaking, and they didn't expect such a thing to happen. Sakazuki, what's the matter with you? Why don't you reply suddenly? Sengoku, the Buddha in the phone worm's voice was resounding, but no response was received. Master Aizen, it seems that something is looking for me. If not, you guys. Aloniro shook his head very regretfully. Now he also opened a black hole, and then left, leaving only one sentence. Sakazuki, isn't it? This name is good, and it belongs to me in the future. You can call me that too. How can I say that I and you are also people in the same world? The scene was silent, and in this dead silence, Doflamingo, he stepped out, appeared so conspicuous. I advise you, hurry up and find a way to become stronger, otherwise, Hueco Mundo will do more cruel next. I think you also know that we are doing this in front of the Spirit King. If you can defeat us, then your performance in this aspect is naturally better than Hueco Mundo, and your Majesty Spirit King will also be rewarded. Where there is justice and evil in this world, as long as His Majesty the Spirit King looks happy, it is better than anything. After the words fell, Doflamingo also tore a black hole. His cadres were not willing to Doflamingo, but Doflamingo still shook his head and resolutely left the world to go to Hueco Mundo. Sakazuki, what's the matter with you? Why don't you reply? On the other side, the voice of Sengoku of Buddha in the phone worm was still ringing. Aokiji gritted his teeth, used his last strength, reluctantly walked over and picked up the phone bug. His tone was very depressed. He has sacrificed. Ma Lin Fanduo of Hydian headquarters, when I heard the reply at first, Sengoku of Buddha had a fat face and was calm, but when I heard the voice from the phone worm, when I heard this sentence clearly, Sengoku of Buddha suddenly widened his pupils. There was a dead silence in Marshal Marine's office. How could it be like this? The Spirit Palace. Ding, congratulations on getting the Sengoku 10,000 shock point of the Buddha. Ding, congratulations on getting 100,000 shock points with Fujitora's smile. Ding, congratulations on getting. For a while. Shockingly, come in densely. The voice of the system resounded in Chen Tian's ears one after another. Beyond what has been heard before. Chen Tian, sitting on the throne, couldn't help but ponder, why would it happen? One Piece World. Who is the boss? 5 Elders. I am. Read more at mtlarchive.com. Do not. More people think it is Akainu. From a certain level, Blackbeard is inferior to Akainu. The death of Akainu actually caused such a dramatic impact. Ding, congratulations on getting Zale Aporo of Espada. Ding, congratulations on getting the Zamari of Espada. Ding, Open Shikai Lock Espada subordinate officer. Chen Tian stretched out his palm, and in his palm, several light groups appeared. Go ahead. Stronger than Espada, in Chen Tian's hands, but also so, he shot at random and plunged into Hueco Mundo. Ding, 100% of Ling Fan Lydian. Ding, congratulations on establishing the Kylan Temple. Ding, congratulations on building the Weapon Hall. Ding, congratulations on building the Phoenix Palace. Ding, congratulations on establishing the Farewell Hall. Right now, Chen Tian looked at Hyasub and others in front of him again. Said. Go ahead. The monk waited for the members of the Zero Division to look at each other, nod their heads, and after showing respect, they left. Outside the Spirit Palace, Hancock can already take the 3rd step, now gritted his teeth, ready to take the 4th step. Chen Tian watched this scene quietly, without saying a word. Hueco Mundo. Shu Yi Palace. At this moment, Aizen is sitting on the big seat, this white palace, Arrancars has gathered. Bullet, Doflamingo, are also here. Although not one of Espada. But Aizen can see that these two guys have the potential to become Espada. Quote. The Spirit King gave us a chance, you said, should we show it? Quote. Aizen didn't speak, with a smile on his mouth. But no one dared to ignore the domineering spirit in Aizen. It's Ichimaru Jin who is talking now, squinting his eyes, only feeling that there is a knife hidden in his smile. No Arrancar would dare to look down upon him. Baragan glanced around. He did not expect to be number 2. He does not believe that there is Arrancar, it can be NO1, can be stronger than himself. Now he faintly said. Of course, we must perform well, then I think. He stated his plan. It's nothing more than the world of pirates, Sengoku who is about to fight the Buddha. But Aizen shook his head. Buddha Sengoku, how could he agree to fight Li Nuohao Baragan? Aizen looked at Ukiora. Aizen trusted this fourth blade very much. So what do you think? Ukiora, still silent. But Aizen asked herself. Ukiora still said, I think we might be able to start from the ninja world. Now in the ninja world, I haven't even realized the existence of Hueco Mundo. In this case, it will cause a big sensation, right? Aizen nodded slightly. Direct appointment. Then you take them to the ninja world, and show it, by the way, you can bring me back something. An understatement, but it reveals an aura that no one can refuse. Ukiora nodded. Baragan was not reconciled, but he remained silent. Now the village. Under the leadership of Ukiora, the Arrancars went to the world of ninjas. Chapter 214. At this moment, the ninja world is still erupting, the Third Ninja World War. This is San Shinobi Village. Now there is a gap in the space. Ukiora came here with a group of Arrancars. Ukiora felt something at the moment, and suddenly looked in one direction. There is a monastery there. When Ukiora stepped out and headed towards this temple, Yamy placed a Seireitei directly in San Shinobi Village. Yamy, who has not yet turned into an angry beast, is also a shadow-level existence. His Seireitei is as terrible as Tailed Beast Bomb. Rumble. At this moment, most of the combat power of San Shinobi Village has gone to the battlefield, and the rest are just weak people. In this way, this force fell in the village and burst directly, shaking the mountain for a while. Although there are ninjas, no one can stop Seireitei's destructive power. For a while, the dragon turned over. Deafening. The whole village was blown up, and the surging sand sea swallowed the village. Only the people around the village survived, but they were scarred and bloody. Watching this scene, Ukiora looked silent. His eyes always had sadness, and he didn't know if he was sad for these people, and the other 10 people including Yamy smiled coldly when they looked at each other. Even Doflamingo, Bullet, and other Arrancars, they think it's no big deal. Ukiora walked in front. Baragan stared coldly at Ukiora's back. At this moment, Baragan just still remembered that he was once the most powerful existence of Hueco Mundo, and he secretly said that one day he would take his place back. Now I saw a temple under the leadership of Ukiora. The temple itself is antique and seems to have existed for hundreds of years. Now they walked in. There was a huge altar in it. On the altar was an equally huge dark yellow bowl with very complicated patterns. I was here last time. This world has the existence of the tail beast. Ukiora's words will not go on here, but they still understand what Ukiora is going to say. It is nothing more than bringing this thing back to Aizen for research. Chen Tian in the spirit palace also recovered. He was also watching the movements of Ukiora and others in the shinobi world. Because Ukiora directly tore through the hole in the space and used the solution to go to the world of ninja, so the live call in Mary Geoise, the holy land of the pirate world, did not live the scene of their actions. Now, there are two worlds, pirate world, ninja world. No one above the sea is in the mood to watch a live broadcast. The terrifying power of Espada of Hueco Mundo is now shown on the sea, whether it is naval headquarters, beasts pirates, or the revolutionary army, and now their hearts are shrouded in panic. They are all pondering how they can resist the coming of Hueco Mundo. Now Chen Tian has also seen the world of ninja and the bowl. He knows that this bowl is the ninja that was used by the generation of Fengying to seal one tail when the 5 great ninja villages were just established. Konaha village also has similar ones, for example, the altar of fire. Right now, Ukiora waited and walked towards the bowl. As he walked, Yamy suddenly looked at the dark corner. Why, won't you come out? With the strength of Yamy and others, some ninjas have long been discovered here. The reason why it doesn't come out, read more at mtlarchive.com. Because it was the horrible scene when San Shinobi Village was destroyed just now, I was frightened. It's comparable to the power of Tailed Beast Bomb. Shocking. As Yamy's voice fell, a man with short brown hair, wearing a black ninja suit and a wind-shaped hat on his head, walked out. Behind him, follow a group of Jonin. The disappearance of the Third Kazekage forced the Sunagaku group of dragons to be headless, and the Thunder Country, which admired military expansion, took advantage of the fire to rob and raid the Wind Country, causing San Shinobi to fall into chaos. The Fourth Kazekage Rosa relied on the magnet-style dust gold he learned from the Third Kazekage to resist the invasion of Cloud Shinobi and protect the village. Today he is the so-called Fourth Kazekage. He glanced at the Jonin behind him. Ukiora and others dress. It is the same as the Hueco Mundo organization that is currently rumored in the ninja world. Unexpectedly, I came back because I was worried about someone attacking from the rear, but I met you. Luo Sha's tone at this moment was not calm at all, and his eyes burned with anger. As a wind shadow, he saw his village with his own eyes and was ruined. Such a thing. It really makes him unbearable. Ukiora remained silent. The other Espada Arrancars behind him also have their own expressions, but their expressions are either disdainful, arrogant, or arrogant. You, Hueco Mundo, whatever it is, it's too much. Rosa moved. Magnet style, placer gold. As his voice fell, he immediately told the condensed chakra that it became a magnetic force and poured into the ground. Immediately, the placer gold like seawater went directly towards Ukiora and so on. Want to suppress Ukiora etc. The San Shinobi village Jonin behind them saw this scene and their eyes brightened. Kill them and avenge the dead in the village. Magnet style, this is the power of our great magnet style in San Shinobi village. Yes, if you have such power, you can definitely give the other party. But when they say this, they can't go on. Boom. Reiatsu, who was waiting for Ukiora, was released for a while. Suddenly, the entire temple was being destroyed like a piece of paper. The sea of gold dust was hit hard by this Reiatsu, and scattered, like rotten tofu, scattered all around. Simultaneously, Espada's Reiatsu, headed directly towards Luosha. This coercive pressure directly suppressed Luosha. Luosha's pupils widened. His legs didn't tremble, because at this moment, he couldn't even tremble. Ukiora walked up towards Luosha, using his hand as a knife, gently raising it. Luosha's eyes widened. The other party wanted to take his head away. Rosa wanted to avoid, but his body was completely suppressed, and the terrifying and vast power suppressed them and made him powerless. The Jonin behind Luosha, looking at their master Fengying, fell into such a dangerous place and wanted to stop them, but their bodies were also shocked by Baragan and okers. All they could do was watch Ukiora's hand knife fall down. Clean and neat. Luosha's head and neck, completely branch house. Ukiora felt that he hadn't done anything great, and at the same time walked up and took the bowl. The Jonin just watched them leave in a daze. After Ukiora and others disappeared. What? Master Fengying, hurry up. You must go to the battlefield to tell Master Hailaozang and Mother-in-law Qiandai this news, and ask them to come back quickly. Chapter 215. Battlefield, Sand Shinobi Village Battlefield. Why is Luosha so slow? Didn't it mean going back to get the one tail, used as combat power at critical times, but why hasn't it come back for so long? Sister, wait a while, Luosha will definitely come back as soon as possible. It was Hailaozang talking to his sister, Kaidai mother-in-law. At this moment, the battle between Sand Shinobi Village and Konaha is already at a disadvantage. At last, came back, but the ones who came back were the Jonin who followed Luosha. Where's Luosha? Chidai Po? Po Wei frowned. The Jonin glanced at each other, and the next moment they knelt down, each with their own expressions, some thumped their chests, some burst into tears, and some. After knowing what happened, thousand-generation mother-in-law. Hailaozang. Immediately, a surprising news spread throughout the ninja world. Although the entire ninja world is currently in the Third War, the speed of this news is still extremely rapid. There is no other reason. It is really because the content of this news is too shocking. Sunagaku, who just declared war on Konaha village, was attacked. The one who attacked Sunagaku was Ukiora, a member of the mysterious Hueco Mundo, who previously attacked Cloud Shinobi village. They attacked Sunagaku and fought with Sunagaku's Fourth Kazekage Rosa, and directly killed Rosa. When this news just spread, everyone in the ninja world was shocked. Not long ago, they killed the third Raikage of Cloud Shinobi village, and now they killed Sunagaku's Fourth Kazekage. This mysterious organization named Hueco Mundo, what exactly does it want to do? Do you want to kill all the shadows of the 5 ninja villages? This time, Sunagaku's encounter almost made the big Shinobu villages feel their own interests at the same time, or their own safety has been greatly threatened. The shadows of the major villages are the backbone of the ninja village, and represent the strongest combat power of the ninja village. However, nowadays, there are mysterious organizations that cast their eyes on Ying's body. The village felt impetuous. It is precisely because of this that, for a while, the situation of the entire battlefield suddenly changed. Ninja villages' shadows have significantly reduced the number of times they appear on the battlefield. Of course, there is something wrong with this sentence. Third Hokage did not appear on the battlefield, and Danzo in Konaha was depressed. Why didn't Hueco Mundo be the first to kill Sarutobi? So Hokage is his. Onoki pondered for a while, feeling that he could not keep his eyes on the battlefield. Fourth Raikage has no brains, he shouted. Hueco Mundo, why didn't he come to him? He was trying to avenge his father. It's not just that, even some of the elite ninjas in various ninja villages have gradually received orders to reduce them to lead the battle. It seems that each ninja village is worried that the elites of their own villages will be attacked by Hueco Mundo. With that, each ninja village began to focus all their attention on the mysterious organization, Hueco Mundo, making the originally chaotic ninja world become completely orderly, and the intensity of the war naturally followed. It calmed down. The situation in the shinobi world has undergone tremendous changes. After Ukiora heard the news, he also told Aizen what he knew. After hearing the news, Aizen nodded. In Aizen's view, this is a normal reaction. Ichimaru Jin beside Aizen smiled and said, is it really not going to fight? Do not fight. Read more at mtlarchive.com. Ukiora asked. Yes it is. Baragan also nodded. Immediately after. They just told the details of what they knew. Ichimaru Jin waited until he understood what had happened. The root cause of the Shinobu village Yi is a follow-up extension of what happened before Sunagaku. Because Ukiora and others killed the 2 shadows of Cloud Shinobi village and Sunagaku in a short period of time, the flames of war became weak. The death of Third Raikage, in fact, did not cause much sensation. After all, he had already decided on the next Raikage before. But this time, the death of Sunagaku Fourth Kazekage Luosha caused chaos inside Sunagaku. No, Sunagaku as a whole disappeared. Although Sand Shinobi asked Mr. Hailaozang to rebuild the affairs of Sunagaku, the abbot of Qiandai. Because of this, it was almost announced that Sunagaku had withdrawn from the Third Ninja World War ahead of schedule. The wars in the other big ninja villages were close to white-hot, but they also stopped at this moment. The people in each shinobi village have protected their elite ninjas and shadows, and even Jinchuriki, for fear of being attacked by the mysterious organization, Haweko Mundo, following in the footsteps of Cloud Shinobi Village and Sunagaku. Because of the 2 consecutive actions of Ukiora and others, the relationship between the big shinin villages has undergone subtle changes. Ukiora and others never thought that their actions would cause such a huge butterfly effect. Even Chen Tian, who was in the Spirit Palace at this time, was lost in thought. Because of this butterfly effect, for Chen Tian, it is undoubtedly not a good thing. Because once a few big shinobu village talks, then it also means that there will be fewer and fewer shock points. The Third Ninja World War, is it really going to end like this? It didn't take long for it to start. Chen Tian said inwardly. Mindful of this, Chen Tian smiled slightly. You know, the Third Ninja World War was the most critical fuse that Naruto's plot promoted. It is good. Find flowers. This battle of the ninja world, in the original Naruto book, directly led to the pattern of the ninja world in the next few decades, and, in the official plot of the original book, it can be said that almost all the characters have been affected by this one. Directly or indirectly affected by the Ninja World War. According to the original Naruto story, this ninja war will last at least a year. In addition, there will be many key battles in the Chunin world. For example, Uchiha Obito was seriously injured in the Battle of God Mubi Bridge, which was nearly dying. For another example, the death of Rin Nohara in Konaha village directly led to the Kurigakure Three Tails incident in which Uchiha Obito was blackened. For another example, the Battle of Kikyo Mountain. But, what now? These important events that will promote the future development of the Naruto story are undoubtedly impossible. Such a huge change that affects the Naruto story promotion, surprisingly made Chen Tian's many original plans have to become conjectures. 0. But, after meditation, Chen Tian calmly calmed down unexpectedly. You know, Chen Tian actually has plans for these possible things. After all, as Haweko Mundo, Espada and others enter the ninja world, the story of Naruto will change, which is a matter of course. It is precisely because of this, so after a moment of thinking, there was a dim light on Chen Tian's eyes. No, I seem to have forgotten something, Chen Tian secretly said in his heart. Mindful of this, the faint sorrow on Chen Tian's face suddenly dissipated. He spoke. Aizen, your Haweko Mundo performance, is this the only way? Ding, congratulations on getting Sarutobi Hiruzen 100000 shock points. Ding, congratulations on getting Terumi May 100000 horror points. Ding, congratulations on getting. Ding, congratulations on obtaining Grimmjow from Espada. Chen Tian stretched out his palm, a light ball surged there. Chen Tian threw it again, throwing away, Haweko Mundo. Haweko Mundo. Aizen has heard the voice of the Spirit King. Aizen nodded. Yup, the shock of Haweko Mundo is still not enough. He looked at Ukiora and waited. Any more news? Oh, by the way, I also inquired that the shadows of several ninja villages will take their elite Jonin and others from Ninja Village in a week or two to discuss whether they want to quell the war in the country of iron. Yamy said. This kind of news, in fact, is spread out from the big ninja villages, spreading to the entire ninja world. As long as you are walking on the ninja world, you can know the details. Hearing Yamy's words, a faint smile appeared in Aizen's pupils. Let me go, I'll be enough. At this moment, a frantic voice rang. Chew on. Chapter 216. Aizen looked there. Grimmjow appeared. Arrancars ranked 6th in the Espada. She has short light blue hair, sky blue eyes, a few bangs hanging from the front of her forehead, and lake green eyeshadow lines. His body is strong. The remnant mask is in the form of rows of teeth and is attached to the right cheek. The 6 inches tattoo representing the 6th blade is located on the lower right of the back waist, and the virtual hole is located on the abdomen. Aizen sees this guy at a glance. It symbolizes death and the form is destroy. Aizen nodded. Okay, just go there. In the Spirit Palace, Chen Tian has seen Aizen dispatched Grimmjow. Chen Tian nodded. Grimmjow, when there is no return to the blade, he is not weaker than the shadow. And after returning to the blade, it is no problem to sling the 5 shadows. At this time, the Naruto world map appeared in Chen Tian's mind. The Bridge of the Gods is not far away from the mountain of the system. Because Chen Tian knows that there is an ambitious guy hidden in a certain position of the Shinwubi Bridge at this time. Even if other things won't happen anymore, but that guy will definitely do it. After all, he doesn't have much time now. Mindful of this, the corner of Chen Tian's mouth turned up in a playful arc. Time flies and flies. At this moment, the peace talks have not officially started. The ninjas still remain vigilant, afraid that the enemy ninja will suddenly come. In the camp area of Konaha village. Obito. Teacher Minato just told us not to run around. A female ninja who seemed to be about 12 or 13 years old was whispering and shouting after looking around. And in front of this female ninja, it is a male ninja wearing a sunshade mirror and sportswear. At this time, he is lying on the fence of the camp. Lin, the war is over. You see, Naruto-sama, they have all come to discuss matters with other ninja villages. There will be nothing wrong, you don't have to worry. The male ninja looked at the female ninja with a smile on his face and said, Lin, third Hokage is here, he is currently discussing with Lord Jiraiya, are you not curious? With that, Uchiha Obito stretched out a hand and pointed at a huge camp in the distance. The direction Uchiha Obito points to is the third generation and a group of ninjas from Konoha's elite to discuss the future of Konoha. Although Uchiha Obito is said to have become a real ninja, he is actually the first hot-blooded boy on the battlefield. Naturally, he is extremely yearning for things like this. Especially their teacher Namikaze Minato, they are in the camp at this time. Read more at mtlarchive.com. When Nohara Lin heard Uchiha Obito's words, her beautiful eyes lit up slightly, and her face seemed to be ready to try. However, the rules of Konoha village made her choose to give up. She pouted and said to Uchiha Obito, Obito, we are all ninjas now. We must obey the village's arrangements and can't do our own way. Cut. Uchiha Obito curled his lips and whispered, Lin, why are you talking like Kakashi, that annoying guy now? Of course Uchiha Obito knew that the ninja had to obey the village's arrangements, so he didn't refute anything. What does it have to do with Kakashi? Hearing Uchiha Obito's words, Hirano Lin's lovely face suddenly became a little red. Obito, as long as a ninja should know and observe things like this, right? Huh, don't go if you don't. Talk about it. Uchiha Obito was about to jump off the fence. Although Uchiha Obito was still full of curiosity about the things in the camp at this time, he didn't want to leave a bad impression in Hirano Lin's heart, causing him to lose to Kakashi's old enemy. Although, nowadays, Uchiha Obito's old enemy, Kakashi has long been Konoha village's leading genius Jonin. But Uchiha Obito still has the confidence to surpass him. That's when Uchiha Obito turned around and just tried to exert pressure. Laugh. At this time, on the ground not far behind Uchiha Obito, something strange, like a pitcher plant, suddenly appeared. At the moment when something like a pitcher plant appeared, a figure of pitch blackness stretched out a hand. This hand turned into countless pitch black tentacles in an instant, directly wrapping Uchiha Obito's entire body. Immediately after, this pitch black person quickly withdrew, trying to reintegrate into the mud. This scene. It was completely in front of Yuanyi Lin's eyes, but when she just saw this scene, the whole person was a little confused. But, Yuanyi Lin didn't keep stunned. After she woke up, she immediately exclaimed, Obito. However, even though Hirano Lin had already reacted, it was impossible to prevent Uchiha Obito from being taken away according to her strength. She rushed up, was kicked and vomited blood. Lin. Seeing this scene, Sharingan appeared in Obito's eyes. Simultaneously, it is at this time. Tweet. At this time, there was a sound like the chirping of 1,000 birds. A small figure hits instantly at a speed that Jonin can never forget. In his palm, a high-intensity electric current formed by lightning-style chakra is gathered. It passed directly from the side of that dark figure. He has long silver white hair and a black cloth face mask. His left eye is blocked by the forehead protector. Even so, it can be seen from his appearance that he is about the same age as Uchiha Obito and Hirano Lin, but, the strength he possesses, however, has far surpassed everyone in his age range. Lightning-style Chidori. This is the lightning-style ninjutsu developed by Hitaki Kakashi. Although he was confident in his number, he still didn't hit the dark figure. Kakashi didn't say anything like, let go of him, and chose to save his friends in a way that belonged to a ninja. Hitaki Kakashi. At this moment, the black figure turned his eyes to look at Kakashi for a while, and then blatantly said, Iwagakure, will accept it. Kakashi's Chidori had already stepped forward, but was avoided by the opponent. Don't worry me, Obito struggled, but to no avail. What comes to mind? Is it because the other party wanted to take me away for Sharingan? After being taken away, he will be dismantled, and then he will die. Thought of here. Obito gritted his teeth. Stretching out his hand, he actually dug out his eyes and threw it to Kakashi. Here you are. At the same time, he did not forget to ask, use my strength to protect Lin. Before he could dig his second eye, he was dragged into the ground by this self-proclaimed Iwagakure. Chapter 217. At the same time, Konoha camp. In that central camp. Orochimaru, don't talk about the fight anymore. If you can negotiate peacefully, this is a good thing. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen blames Orochimaru. Orochimaru felt that this battle should be continued. In Sarutobi's view, this is completely different from his own. In this third ninja world war, nothing can be fought anymore. It hurts the people and money. Sarutobi Hiruzen is getting old, and he wants a life of ease instead of fighting like this. Sarutobi disliked Orochimaru's thoughts. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was still hesitating among Namikaze Minato and Orochimaru, now feels that he finally understands who Konoha should inherit. Orochimaru's thinking, in his opinion, is not conducive to Konoha's development. This disciple, who was once his most beloved disciple, now gives people a gloomy feeling. Look like Danzo. It's Namikaze Minato, Jiraiya's disciple, and his own grandson. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt that Namikaze Minato had the same sunny breath as him. Such a person can truly entrust Konoha. You can't fight anymore at this moment. 18th generation Raikage was killed. Fourth Kazekage was killed. The situation in the ninja world became more and more uncertain. Gotei 13, Haweko Mundo, 4 emperors, these powerful forces hiding in the darkness of the ninja world, gave Seireitei Hiruzen an ominous premonition, like a powerful enemy lingering on the side of the couch. Because of this, Seireitei Hiruzen and other high-level officials from Konaha village can't wait to come to the battlefield, hoping to go to the Iron Country for a few days to discuss, and want to completely end this ninja war. Only in this way can Konaha village have the energy to mobilize elite personnel to investigate those forces hiding in the dark, and then can they compete with these powerful forces. So far, in fact, Seireitei Hiruzen and other Konaha village high-level goals have been basically completed. In principle, several ninja villages agreed to end this ninja world war. The reason why they have not yet signed a contract is because all parties want to get a certain amount of compensation from each other. Just meet up and it's almost done. I hope that this period of time, those in the dark will not make any major incidents. Seireitei Hiruzen thought in his heart. Of course. It is not only Seireitei Hiruzen who has such an idea. Namikaze Minato, who is standing next to Seireitei Hiruzen, is similar to his idea. After all, at this time, anyone with a discerning eye can see that Haweko Mundo is too terrifying, the shadow, but the strongest existence in the ninja world at the moment, it is easy to be killed. This so-called Haweko Mundo is a bit outrageous. Read more at mtlarchive.com. If you go alone, in Namikaze Minato's view, I am afraid that none of them are Ukiora's opponents. Of course, if your teacher shows Sage Mode. Namikaze Minato didn't know the answer either. Because of how strong Ukiora is, Namikaze Minato, I haven't personally experienced it. Minato knows the strength of Bullet. My teacher, Jiraiya, even if it is Sage Mode, it's too bad for him to face him. But it is at this time. A rush of footsteps sounded. A Konaha village suddenly opened the curtain and walked in. Hokage-sama, just now, a mysterious man broke into our camp and hijacked a ninja named Uchiha Obito. Following that, the words of this Konaha village ninja sounded. Quiet, deathly silence. There was a dead silence in the camp. The atmosphere became strange. What did you say? Not long after, all the people present were all whistling and shouting in disbelief. Obito. One of the most shocked was Uchiha Obito's teacher, Namikaze Minato. At this time, his eyebrows were suddenly frowned. The Uchiha clan, Seireitei Hiruzen, who woke up, looked a little dignified and frowned. What Seireitei Hiruzen thought at the first time was whether some high-level people in Shinobu had an idea about Sharingan from the Uchiha clan. But, this idea just came up, but it was rejected by Seireitei Hiruzen. After all, as far as he knows, Sharingan of Uchiha Obito is not turned on today. Of course, they can also choose to capture Uchiha Obito first and wait for Uchiha Obito to start Sharingan. However, if they really had such an idea, they would definitely not choose Uchiha Obito to do it. Among the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Obito is an obvious waste. At this time, the reporting ninja said, the other party claimed to be a ninja of Iwagakure. At the same time, when Uchiha Obito was caught, he opened his eyes. Seireitei Hiruzen and others. How come? Eyes are opened at this time. Mindful of this, Seireitei Hiruzen did not hesitate at all. He turned his eyes and said to Namikaze Minato, Minato, you will immediately take someone to chase, and be sure to find the trace of the other person. At the same time, the other side, that is, in the camps of several major ninja villages, because Uchiha Obito was suddenly taken away by mysterious people, they were also shaken, and a large-scale operation was launched. Sharingan, who doesn't want it? Onoki wanted it too, but Onoki was also angry. Who said it was an Iwagakure ninja? He didn't ask anyone to do such a thing at all. They began a large-scale search around the camp. At this moment, in a cave not far from the mountain of the system, an old man wearing a shabby robe with gray hair was sitting in a chair casually. At this moment, he has a huge vine-like duct on his back, extending towards the rear, and at the other end of the duct is a huge monster statue. This huge humanoid statue has a body like dead wood, but its head is incredibly huge, with 9 eyes on it. Master Madara, I brought people back. At this moment, the dark man who had robbed Uchiha Obito in the camp of Jidainen village in Jijishin not long ago slowly emerged from the ground. Talk about it. That is, Uchiha Obito, who had fallen into a coma, was still on the ground. Absolutely, well done. Uchiha Madara didn't lift his head, pointed to Uchiha Obito on the ground, and continued, did you have any trouble when taking him away? The Konaha executives are discussing matters related to the reconciliation in the central camp. I didn't encounter too much trouble in my actions. Without thinking about it, he said, however, in the process I found an interesting kid, he is Konaha. The genius of the village generation is about the same age as Obito, Hitaki Kakashi, the son of Hitaki Sakumo, who now has a Sharingan. Uchiha Madara gave an indifferent, oh. Chapter 218. Next, everything goes according to my plan, so there will be no problems. Uchiha Madara sneered, and Black Zetsu, who heard Madara's words, was disdainful, Otsutsuki Kagaya, who is the origin of everything in the actual Jonin world. With the created existence, Black Zetsu felt that he had witnessed the development of the ninja world with his own eyes, and what he did not know about the ninja world. Uchiha Madara's plan was actually led by Black Zetsu. For Uchiha Madara, Black Zetsu also feels that he has figured it out. He is exactly like Indra. He is worthy of being the reincarnation of Indra. He is so proud that he thinks everything is in his own control and has never doubted him. What kind of existence is Black Zetsu? Don't worry, I will proceed according to your plan. Now the refusal said respectfully on the surface. Uchiha Madara nodded slightly. He has long known that the development of the ninja world will definitely fail if it follows the system of Senju Hashirama. Now that he has verified his ideas, the ninja world continues to start wars. This is enough to prove that Senju Hashirama is wrong. Uchiha Madara feels that his thoughts are the real right existence, but his body is too old. Although he has survived with the Geto statue behind him, he is not strong enough. So Uchiha Madara knew that he had to find a temporary heir. This guy could temporarily inherit everything about him, including his identity, and he found this person, and that was Uchiha Obito. This guy truly loves the world and others with a sunny attitude, and even treats people who have bullied him with kindness. There are very few such people among the ambitious Uchiha. But with this kind of existence, Uchiha Madara knows that the potential is the most powerful. The more kind Uchiha is, the greater the darkness that erupts when engulfed by hatred, and the more rare Mangekyo will be produced. As long as he proceeds according to the plan he made, then the kind-hearted Uchiha Obito will completely disappear from this world, and a brand new guy will be born in the ninja world. Of course Uchiha Madara also knows that his plan so far is still unexpected. Haweko Mundo, and Gotei 13, and 4 emperors that seem to be one level lower than them. The current Uchiha Madara, chanting the names of these 3 organizations, couldn't help frowning. He also survived from the Sengoku era to the present day. But he hasn't even heard of these 3 organizations, which is really weird. All forces beyond his control, Uchiha Madara did not allow him to continue to exist, but Uchiha Madara did not know where these forces were. And at this moment, Uchiha Madara's old and feeble pupils suddenly opened, and even Black Zetsu looked forward in amazement. But looking at the space in front of him, a pitch-black opening was cracked, and then a figure slowly walked out of the opening. As this space ninjutsu, Uchiha Madara couldn't help but stared at the scene before him, and said solemnly. Who is it? This cave is also owned by Black Zetsu for Uchiha Madara. He didn't think anyone would come here to disturb them, but he didn't expect anyone to come to such a secluded place. At the same time, this guy can actually use space ninjutsu, obviously not the general generation. You must know that among many ninjutsu, space ninjutsu is famous. I wanted to go to a country of iron, but I noticed something interesting here, so I came. The guy who came was not someone else, but Grimmjow. He said this arrogantly. It seems that he didn't seem to be frightened because of the weird place in front of him, and the existence of Uchiha Madara, Black Zetsu, Geto statue, and so on. Instead, he said it with interest. You dress like this. Haweko Mundo, guy. After taking a look at Grimmjow, Uchiha Madara's eyes were also cold. Haweko Mundo has been in the shinobi world recently, and what he has done is not trivial. Read more at mtlarchive.com. It's hard not to know them. Third Kazekage, Fourth Kazekage, all died in the hands of Haweko Mundo. With such a blatant madness, Uchiha Madara has to pay more attention. Yes, you know lousy even if you have a little eye. Grimmjow nodded now. His eyes arrogantly said, me, Arrancars number 6, Grimmjow. Since you have discovered my existence, what do you think of the current situation? Is it 6th among Arrancars? Although he was a little surprised, Uchiha Madara, as a man called Shira who galloped in the world of ninja in the past, also showed considerable aura and did not panic about it. How can I say it? As far as you say, I think I am in a pretty good situation. Grimmjow said. Aizen of Haweko Mundo is also looking at Aizen with the power of Hogyoku. Aizen has obtained quite a lot of information from the Spirit King. Uchiha Madara. This guy is very suitable for Haweko Mundo. Quote. I didn't expect a windfall. Quote. Right now, Aizen of Haweko Mundo spoke up. The power of Hogyoku transmitted Aizen's voice to the ninja world, and now it rang directly in the cave. What? Uchiha Madara's pupils shrank suddenly. Ju also looked around. Nothing was found. Who the hell is it? Next moment. Uchiha Madara and others discovered that Grimmjow's wanton appearance in front of him seemed to have a little restrained. Although it was the same arrogant, it was a lot less than before. So the talking guy is Uchiha Madara. Haweko Mundo, is very optimistic about you. Why don't you become a virtual and join Haweko Mundo? Aizen's voice seemed very gentle. But Uchiha Madara felt the oppression in it. Uchiha Madara couldn't help but laugh. He also said calmly, Wang Zhao, on arrogance, I would like to call you the strongest. He has never seen a guy who is so arrogant. Come to subdue him Uchiha Madara. Do not make jokes. The arrogance in his bones is unmatched by any Uchiha. Your path is doomed to fail, why not follow the path of Haweko Mundo? Aizen's voice continued to resound in the cave. You know, your plan is actually guided. For example, the guy next to you, the product of Otsutsuki Kagaya, should be amazing, right? What? As soon as he said this, whether it was Uchiha Madara or Ju, his face was no longer suppressed, no longer calm, completely surprised. Uchiha Madara was surprised that the other party knew absolutely, but even more surprised was absolutely the product of Otsutsuki Kagaya. This is impossible, no. Thinking of this, the corner of Uchiha Madara's eyes looked at Black Zetsu secretly. Chapter 219. In Uchiha Madara's cognition, it is absolutely clear that he created it, but the change in the face of Ju at this moment makes Uchiha Madara understand that what the other party is saying is true, and it is absolutely related to the so-called Otsutsuki Kagaya. Uchiha Madara relies on force to ramp up the ninja world, but this does not mean that Uchiha Madara has no brains, and the change of expression on his face can't be too busy for him. What exactly is Otsutsuki Kagaya? Uchiha Madara stated that he had never heard of the existence of this name. Compared to Uchiha Madara, Ju is now completely shocked. You must know that this is the first time since its birth that its identity has been directly exposed. No one has ever known it before. What exactly is Hueco Mundo? Why does even the mother know it? Could it be that Hueco Mundo hides the history of shinobi, which is longer than his own mother? Now, I have to let Ju have such an idea. Master Madara, you have to believe that I am. Now Ju hurriedly looked at Uchiha Madara and wanted to give Uchiha Madara an explanation. Relax, I understand that you are my creation. Now Uchiha Madara knew that he should do this for the time being, with the sharp light flashing in the old eyes, and then said, take this kid and go, and proceed as planned. He nodded, and made a decision in an instant. He picked up Obito from the ground, and then left the place. Uchiha Madara knows that this is not the time to feel suspicious. For him, he thinks that the biggest headache for him is the Hueco Mundo in front of him. To be honest, Uchiha Madara thought that Grimmjow would definitely take action when he was about to leave, but he didn't expect it at all. With that said, Hueco Mundo is now completely focused on himself, and as expected, he is Uchiha Madara. That's the other party's goal. This made Madara laugh. When will I become a target? Grimmjow is still looking at Uchiha Madara wantonly, and in the space, Aizen's voice continues to resound. His voice was gentle, but with a hint of helplessness. It seems that Aizen is pitying Uchiha Madara. I didn't expect you to be played to such a point. Come to Hueco Mundo. When everything is illusory, only here is real. The so-called Project Tsuki no Mi is a fictitious existence. You shouldn't believe it. Come to me, I will show you a real world. Do you think this kind of trick is useful to me? Uchiha Madara thinks the other party's words are really ridiculous. Do you think you can shake me up with this kind of words? In the ninja realm, for some people, they usually subtly brainwash them. Uchiha Madara also knows these methods, but now he didn't expect anyone to use such tricks on himself. Since Aizen-sama doesn't listen, I'll fight. Grimmjow felt itchy hands, and said so at this moment. Of course Aizen in Hueco Mundo knows that guys like Uchiha Madara will not be moved by words. But Aizen did this just hoping to give Uchiha Madara an impression. This is the so-called preconceptions. Chen Tian in the Spirit Palace, his gaze can directly pass through the boundary wall, looking at this scene in the shinobi world at this moment, and the reaction of Uchiha Madara is also captured by Chen Tian. The role of Uchiha Madara is so proud. People who are generally proud, undoubtedly, have a characteristic, that is, they feel that they cannot be wrong. According to Uchiha Madara, the existence of Project Tsuki no Mi cannot be guided by human beings. The Eye of the Moon, but he himself interpreted it from the ancient stone monument of the Uchiha clan with pupil power that surpassed Sharingan. Even if Uchiha Madara doubts the existence of Ju, it is impossible to question this. Read more at mtlarchive.com. However, Chen Tian feels that the performance of Hueco Mundo is good. Because, ding, congratulations on getting Black Zetsu 1 million shock points. This guy has contributed a lot of shock points. As Chen Tian expected. The next moment, the sound of the system sounded again. Ding, congratulations on getting the third of Espada, Tia. Chen Tian nodded, but he felt a little frightened. It would not end like this. Right now, Shinobi, in the hole, can you convince me? Can you do it? Uchiha Madara knew that his vitality was about to end. That being the case, just let yourself go crazy for the last time. Suddenly, Uchiha Madara yelled, and then the old body stood up directly from the seat, the scarlet Sharingan, revealing the still bright colors. Let me see what kind of power Hueco Mundo has. As his voice fell, the ghetto statue behind him also let out a dull roar. Then, Uchiha Madara's old body gradually began to change. Of course, the first thing that changed was the gray hair, the old man's color, gradually being covered by youth, becoming jet black. At this moment, the body of Feng Zhu's dying year has completely gained the vitality of his youth. This is the same ghetto statue. This is the final battle. Uchiha Madara used the whole cards he can currently use and burned all his vitality. Bring it on. Uchiha Madara has super shadow power at this moment. Before this momentum, the creatures on the ground trembled. But this sense of oppression, called Grimmjow, smiled with increased interest. Hueco Mundo. Aizen used Hogyoku to watch this scene. Uchiha Madara's qualifications, in his opinion, are indeed good. Such talents should enter Hueco Mundo. When the wind and candle were dying, they kept the last whole cards and used them at the last time. This guy seems to have a whole card at all times. Thinking of this, Aizen's voice said, let him see the power of Hueco Mundo. Grimmjow heard Aizen's voice and nodded. And at this time, Uchiha Madara had already taken advantage of Grimmjow's acceptance of Aizen's instructions and came to Grimmjow's body in a flash. Quickly, and the timing is so good. Faced with Uchiha Madara's hand, Grimmjow was also taken aback. But Grimmjow also grabbed it immediately. Sharply grabbed Uchiha Madara's kicking leg. Blood dripping. But Uchiha Madara didn't care, and the other foot kicked out fiercely. Kicked directly on Grimmjow's body, but Grimmjow didn't care about the appearance. Seeing this, Uchiha Madara's eyes narrowed slightly. This guy, isn't it a human? When kicking, Uchiha Madara discovered that the existence of bones on Grimmjow's body is fundamentally different from normal people. It was enough to deal with you. But Aizen-sama said, I want you to see the true power of Hueco Mundo. In this case, it's an honor for you to see it. Crack, Leopard King, boom. Chapter 220. With the fall of Grimmjow's words, a terrible energy suddenly spread madly, sweeping the entire space. This narrow cave simply couldn't contain such a force, and suddenly began to collapse layer by layer. Dust, overflowing, dashi, collapse. Uchiha Madara's pupils were also shrinking at this moment, and he saw that Jemu left a huge change, his sword disappeared, and his body became stranger. The cyan eyeshadow extends to the temples, the ears turn into blue-green leopard ears, the hair turns into long hair hanging down, and the white mask is worn on the forehead. The image is completely different from before. Is this the power of the ninja world? From Uchiha Madara's point of view, it's not at all. Is it Sage Mode? But in the case of Sage Mode, it feels like it shouldn't be like this. At this moment, the cave was completely collapsed, and at the same time the breath of Grimmjow's body also filled the surroundings, and the space was full of destruction. At this moment, all the ninjas on the battlefield couldn't help their bodies trembling. An ominous aura came from one direction, making their bodies numb even more than the tail beast. This kind of breath is really terrifying, many ninja souls are trembling, and they dare not even move. This is the base camp of Konaha village on the battlefield. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen is dispatching ninjas to search the quartet to see if he can find Uchiha Obito's path. Sharingan can't fall into the hands of outsiders anyway. As this breath spreads and fills the whole world, Sarutobi Hiruzen can't help but shake his eyes now. It's not just Sarutobi Hiruzen. The ninjas like Jiraiya, Orochimaru, Tsunade, and Namikaze Minato beside him are also shocked now. I was discussing with Sarutobi Hiruzen just now whether it was really Iwagakur's ninja who took Uchiha Fugaku and other Uchiha ninjas of Uchiha Obito. Now the whole person is dumbfounded. This sense of oppression is really terrifying, and everyone's soul is shaken by it. It's not just Konoha's side that is like this. On the battlefield, in other ninja village camps, all the shadows are now looking in the same direction. They had never imagined that there would be such a terrifying power in the ninja world. In that direction, there will be any great horror. Even Fourth Kazekage, who is shouting and screaming, is playing drums in his heart now. Do you want to go and see? If it were other circumstances, they would have passed it long ago, but this coercion was so terrible that they hesitated in their hearts. Are you the strongest in the ninja world? In that case, come here and let me see what you can do. At this moment, Grimmjow's eyes are full of moving madness, he seems to yearn for destruction. At this moment he opened his paws, and his voice resounded in the space. After the Grimmjow sword was liberated, the terrible Reiatsu continued to radiate. The cave was completely open to the open, and the space showed signs of distortion. How can this guy's power? I have to say that Uchiha Madara is already shocked now. He never thought that he would have such a day, even if it was Senju Hashirama's power, it was nothing but to control himself. It's just the last point, but the guy in front of me is completely different. Uchiha Madara secretly said that even Rinnegan is now in his own body, even if he has the strength of his heyday. In front of the opponent's power, his strength in his heyday does not seem to be counted. What? Uchiha Madara found that his heart was also filled with a sense of fear that he had never felt before. What kind of joke is this? I'm no ordinary person. I am Uchiha Madara. Now Uchiha Madara gritted her teeth, blood flowed down to the corners of her mouth, relying on the pain to make Uchiha Madara temporarily forget her fear. No, not only pain, but also the arrogance in his bones. His arrogance does not allow him. Uchiha Madara is afraid of such emotions. Bring it on. Uchiha Madara shot. There was a sharp look in his eyes. Amaterasu. This pair of Mangekyo belonged to the Uchiha clan who once died. Right now, read more at mtlarchive.com. The flames burned on Grimmjow's body. This flame is extremely hot. However, boom, with the outbreak of Reiatsu on Grimmjow. The black flame of Amaterasu was directly blown away. Uchiha Madara also didn't expect anyone. No, this is not a human at all. There are creatures that can use this method to break away from Amaterasu's power. At this time, Uchiha Madara's pupils were startled. Grimmjow's current speed is indescribable. Boom. Uchiha Madara was directly hit and flew out. The cave was completely broken open. The hit rushed to the ground, knocking down rows of trees. But Uchiha Madara still stood up. Grimmjow appeared behind Uchiha Madara. You are not human at all. Uchiha Madara immediately turned around. Monthly reading. Boom. The moment the moon reading space appeared, it completely collapsed, cracked, and shattered. How come? Human. Of course not. Grimmjow said faintly. Uchiha Madara felt the vitality of her body and began to lose. He can't support a long battle at all. It's not a human being, so what is it? Uchiha Madara has long thought it strange. If Hueco Mundo is a force in the ninja world, why doesn't he know? Unless there is something like Mount Myoboku. Or, the forces that existed in ancient times. Either. Uchiha Madara really didn't dare to think about it anymore, the worldview was already shaking. Ding, congratulations on getting 100,000 shock points for Uchiha Madara. Ding, congratulations on getting Terumi May 100,000 shock points. Close black lens bracket. Ding, congratulations on getting 100,000 shock points from Onogi. At this moment, the point of shock is constantly rising. Ding, congratulations on getting the subordinate officer of the first blade. Chen Tian stretched out his palm. There are a few more light groups. After thinking about it, he threw it directly into the ninja world. Grimmjow's subordinate officers have Xiaolong Kufang, Adalad, Nakim, Ilbert, and Diaroi. Compared to the deputy captain of Soul Society, there are 3 other seats. In fact, Espada subordinate officers, mostly unknown. But after they were liberated, they still had no problem dealing with the so-called shadow in the ninja world. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen and others have already made a decision. What the hell is there? Let's go and see. Jiraiya said. Yes. Orochimaru licked his tongue like a snake, and said. Tsunade. Namikaze Minato nodded similarly. You guys. Seeing them all, Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded. The same goes for other shinobu. In that direction, what on earth is there to look at? Chuon. Chapter 221. While Uchiha Madara was in shock, Grimmjow still did it. Grimmjow, regardless of speed or action, was even faster after the sword was released, that is, after returning to the edge. Uchiha Madara just blocked Grimmjow's fist, and his palm hurts like a broken bone. Grimmjow kicked and flew again. He blocked his fist just now, but he blocked it in a random manner. Grimmjow moves fast. Even if he has Mangekyo Sharingan, he only sees a little bit clearly, but he can't keep up with his movements. To put it bluntly, Grimmjow's current moves are too fast, comparable to the 8 Inner Gates formation. If it is to be investigated seriously, his speed is much faster than the 8 Inner Gates formation. Swish this time. There were already fast ninjas in the 5 great ninja villages, and they came here early. One of them was Namikaze Minato. When he saw the battle before him, his expression changed drastically. This guy wears exactly the same clothes as the guy in Lulin. Is it the so-called Espada? Namikaze Minato was shocked. At the same time, he could clearly see the figure being suppressed. Namikaze Minato was even more shocked. Surprised, that guy's face looked very similar to a guy in the ninja school textbook. With the face of the Uchiha clan, there is no doubt that this guy is Uchiha Madara. This is absolutely impossible, how could Uchiha Madara not die? Namikaze Minato was shocked. This is very different from his cognition. In the cognition, Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama had a battle and then died. But what is going on at this moment? Uchiha Madara is still alive. Why is this? Uchiha Madara is still alive. So if it hasn't appeared for so many years, is there a secret conspiracy? But Namikaze Minato also knows that now is not the time to think about this. Even if Uchiha Madara has a conspiracy, he is completely suppressed by the Arrancars in front of him, and he is completely vulnerable. Now when Namikaze Minato was shocked, other figures had already appeared one by one. Among them are the people of Konaha village such as Sarutobi Hiruzen, Jiraiya, Orochimaru. Of course, Fourth Kazekage, Killer Bee, Onoki and others, and Terumi May, etc., have all appeared here one by one. What I have to say is that none of the 7 ninja swords died at this moment, and all appeared here intact. But what about it? The situation in front of me is really terrible. These guys can provide me with a lot of shock points. In the Spirit Palace, Chen Tian looked at the picture at this moment with both eyes quietly, and the corner of his mouth was also filled with a narrow smile. The war in the ninja world is terrible, and the ninjas in the major ninja villages have suffered a lot of casualties. The ninjas who survived the war felt that they had already seen a cruel side and would not be moved anymore. But at this moment, they were still dumbfounded, not knowing what to say. This guy is an associate of Ukiora from Hueco Mundo, one of the so-called Espada. Seeing Grimmjow's actions, Sarutobi Hiruzen and other major ninja villages were frightened. How could it be so terrible? Even Sarutobi Hiruzen feels that he will go up, afraid that he will be solved by the other party without 2 or 2 hits. The other party is too fast. Quickly, he has no time to perform any ninjutsu. Simultaneously, looking at the suppressed figure again. Uchiha Madara. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't say anything, but Onogi screamed in astonishment, without Tsuchikage's demeanor. This is also impossible, read more at mtlarchive.com. When I was young, I went through many wars with Master Wu. In order to protect the village with his master, he often fights against other villages until dawn. In the early days of the founding of the People's Republic of China, Wu had led his disciple Onoki to Konaha for diplomacy, and met Uchiha Madara. The alliance between Rock Shinobi and Konaha was rejected by Madara, and Onoki was seriously injured. So far, Onoki can hardly forget the power of Uchiha Madara in his mind. But now, Uchiha Madara is suppressed like this. This, Hueco Mundo, what the hell? Onoki's tone was trembling. Just at this time, Susanoo, although knowing to do this, I am afraid that if I can't maintain it for 3 minutes, my vitality will be exhausted. But the situation is currently being beaten, which Uchiha Madara cannot bear. Grimmjow is so powerful that Uchiha Madara couldn't help but say, is this only the sixth among Espada? Could it be that there are really 5 guys in Espada, more terrifying than the monster in front of you? Don't say that Uchiha Madara thinks so, Seireitei Hiruzen and others can't help but think so now. Now, they can only deny it in their hearts and give themselves some comfort. No, Espada's ranking is definitely not because of strength. If this is the case, Espada can dominate the world of forbearance. Right now, they all saw the appearance of Susanoo. You should be able to deal with each other now. For some reason, Seireitei Hiruzen hopes Uchiha Madara can win. At least everyone knows Uchiha Madara well. Right now, Uchiha Fugaku and others also came, looking at the huge energy giant in front of him. The ninjas of the Uchiha clan yearn for it. Now. Uchiha Fugaku said with great excitement, this is the true power of the Uchiha clan. It is said that Susanoo has the power to destroy the world. As long as you use Susanoo, the other party will have nothing to do. The ninjas of the Uchiha clan nodded even more. Even Onoki thinks so at this moment. Boom. Next moment, Susanoo's huge fist bombarded with a terrible sonic boom. Leopard King's claw scratched a blue light trail, and then collided with Susanoo. Suddenly, everyone was dumbfounded. Click. Susanoo completely burst open. How so? This scene made the ninjas present feel incredible. Uchiha Fugaku and others, as well as Seireitei Hiruzen and Onoki who know the power of Susanoo, are also surprised and don't know what to say. Do not. This is especially true for Uchiha Madara. The other party caught it. Susanoo is completely broken. The power of Haweko Mundo is terrifying to this point. Be imaginary. Then live in front of me and challenge me. Grimmjow spoke. Following his words, both Uchiha Madara, Seireitei Hiruzen and others felt a terrible breath. Wang Shu's flash. Suddenly, Sero was born in the middle of Grimmjow's palm. Uchiha Madara has been unavoidable. Seireitei Hiruzen waited for his scalp to become numb, thinking that he would be affected by the fish. 4 Red Yang formation. Now, Seireitei Hiruzen shouted immediately. The situation is critical. Chapter 222. A blue flash suddenly appeared. This is a powerful Sero used by Espada Arrancars. In an instant. The violent light swept away at this moment, as if it was igniting something. The majestic and thrilling power suddenly enveloped this piece of heaven and earth. It stretched for more than 10 meters, and the whole eye was shocking. Blu-ray. It was at this moment. The surrounding air was distorted, and even the space trembled violently. A strong and majestic destructive force swept through, and the surrounding land was completely lifted, making this area extremely muddy. The blue light is like a beacon in the night, heading towards Uchiha Madara at an incredible speed. Boom. Uchiha Madara was directly destroyed severely. But at the last second that passed, he looked straight at Grimmjow and said, I remember this battle today. Uchiha Madara completely disappeared, but his last look was deeply unwilling. In the spirit palace, 18 Chen Tian pointed his finger, and suddenly the light was shining. No one knew what had happened. The next moment, his eyes suddenly turned to the direction of Haweko Mundo. In Haweko Mundo, there is an emptiness that is being born. It spreads its teeth and dances its claws, telling its arrogance and anger. Aizen used Hogyoku's power to also notice this emptiness. Ninja world, in a flash. The huge Geto statue also turned into nothingness, and instantly disappeared from everyone's eyes. The reason is very simple. It is something that was summoning out. With the death of the summoning, it will naturally be teleported back to where it was originally. And with that, Uchiha Madara and the huge Geto statue disappeared without a trace. But Wang Shu's flash did not disappear. 4 Red Yang formation also started to collapse under the flash attack of Grimmjow's Wang Shu. At this time, Seireitei Hiruzen and others were shocked. The shadows of the other great shinobu villages, seeing this scene, first glanced at each other, and they all saw the solemn color in each other's eyes. They have no choice. At this moment, the few shadows did not hesitate, and immediately stepped forward to help, and began to send chakra to Seireitei Hiruzen and Namikaze Minato. Crack, crack, kaka. But, even with the addition of the chakras of several great shinobu shadows, the enchantment of 4 Red Yang formation is still breaking down. See this scene. Whether it is the people of Konaha village such as Seireitei Hiruzen and Namikaze Minato, or the shadows and elites of several other ninja villages. Read more at mtlarchive.com. On their expressions one by one, at almost the same time, a thick and incredible color appeared. No, we have to find a way. This guy's strength is too strong. If this continues, I am afraid we will all die. At this time, Seireitei Hiruzen said solemnly to everyone around him. But, what can they do? Now, the only thing left is death. In addition, everyone can't think of any good way to resist the flash of Grimmjow's Wang Shu. And that is at this time. The ninjas of several great ninja villages all rushed to it. After all, they are not elites, and their movement speed is naturally not as fast as those of Seireitei Hiruzen and other elites such as Namikaze Minato. When the ninjas of several great ninja villages arrived here to see this scene in front of them, their faces were all in a state of confusion. What are you still waiting for? Come and help. Oh, Yemu shouted loudly. Hear the words. The ninjas of the several big ninja villages all woke up, and one by one came forward to output chakra. But, boom. In an instant, a sound of earth-shaking roar suddenly burst from the 4 Red Yang formation. This sound made everyone around him just feel their eardrums humming, almost deaf. Even more terrifying is, after the roar, a terrifying energy that was majestic to the extreme, from that place, went crazy in all directions. This is a wave of gorgeous rainbows. Constantly devouring this square of heaven and earth, and confining everything around him, it contains extremely strong coercion, as well as unbelievable destructive power and harm. Kaka, on the surrounding ground, under this violent energy, there appeared a series of spider web cracks. Even in the surrounding space, at this time, several cracks appeared, and the space was turbulent. It seemed that there was a feeling that it was about to shatter, causing everyone around them to shatter. Many ninjas in Konaha village, at this moment, have not yet woken up from the roar, they just feel that their bodies have been hit by a terrifying giant mountain. Their limbs, torso, and entire body were all exploded at this time, and the whole person was blasted to blood and blood. Not only Konaha village, many ninjas in the other great ninja villages were attacked by shock waves at this moment, and there were countless casualties on the spot. Shocked. This scene was too sudden and too terrifying. Everyone was dumbfounded. When the rumbling sound stopped, the smoke dissipated. The shadows present and the elites of various ninja villages saw the pool of minced meat behind them and the ground covered with scarlet blood. All are ignorant. In the hearts of several shadows, there was a sudden thump, and their faces were like ashes. Quiet, deathly silence. The scene fell into a deadly silence. But, just a moment later, this dead silence was broken. The shadows of the big ninja village are all glaring King Kong staring at Grimmjow not far away. He just displayed such a powerful force, I am afraid he doesn't have much power anymore. In the minds of everyone in the ninja world, almost at the same time thoughts that were almost the same. Mindful of this, at this time, the shadows of the great Shinobu village looked at each other, and they all saw the same idea as their own from each other's eyes. Then, the shadows nodded in unison. There is only one person on the other side, and they now have a number of shadow rank powerhouses. In other words, this is an opportunity. But, that's when a few movie desires are about to do it. Flying Thunder God Technique. In an instant, I saw that Namikaze Minato moved and rushed up. At the same time, Namikaze Minato displayed Rasengan. Single quote. He concentrated all the chakra in his hand, and then flowed in irregular directions and compressed, forming a palm-sized chakra ball, and attacked towards Grimmjow. Chapter 223. And at the same time that Namikaze Minato displayed Flying Thunder God Technique and Rasengan, I saw that the corners of Grimmjow's mouth curled up with a disdainful arc. Namikaze Minato naturally saw Grimmjow's contemptuous face at this time. You just want to use this to deal with it. I don't know if you should be naive or stupid. Grimmjow said lightly. The voice fell. Namikaze Minato felt abruptly that the Rasengan he was displaying seemed to become uncontrollable. It was destroyed by Grimmjow. Immediately after, I saw that Grimmjow's claws were slammed in the direction of Namikaze Minato. Suddenly, the space was caught with cracks. At this moment, Namikaze Minato, who has always been regarded as a genius, felt the breath of death at this moment. The ninjutsu that he has always been proud of flashed in his mind. However, these things seem to be of little value in the face of Grimmjow's attack. But, the next moment, Grimmjow saw a person wearing a black tight-fitting combat uniform with a ninja hat on his head, a mustache on his chin, green laminated armor on both sides of the hat, and a long protective belt behind the hat. In front of him. Don't want to touch me in Konaha village. Sarutobi Hiruzen's hand, at this moment, holding the diamond wishful stick and colliding with Grimmjow's claws. Afterwards, Sarutobi Hiruzen grabbed Namikaze Minato and immediately pushed it away. But his King Kong wishful stick had turned into an ape demon, and then fell to the ground with scars, and disappeared into smoke in the next moment. After seeing this scene, Grimmjow did not pursue it, but stood in place and squinted at the people in the ninja world not far away. Minato, ninjas must remain absolutely calm at all times. Did you forget this? Just one person dare to step forward and fight that guy. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is always calm, is right now. Namikaze Minato shouted in a low voice. Sorry, Naruto-sama. Namikaze Minato lowered his head. In fact, after Grimmjow's simple blow just now, Namikaze Minato is no match for Grimmjow at all. Therefore, Namikaze Minato chose to bow his head to admit his mistake. However, he felt an unprecedented sense of frustration in his heart at this time. He has always been a recognized genius in Konaha village, but now he is talented, and there are others. Hokage-sama, I was reckless. But that guy killed so many of us in Konaha village, ninja. I must avenge them, Namikaze Minato said solemnly. Of course, when Sarutobi Hiruzen heard Namikaze Minato's words, he nodded solemnly, and said, they are all ninjas of Konaha village, our family. I must kill the guy from damn it, for those who died. Family revenge. Moreover, your reckless behavior before, although I don't agree with it, but, it also created a little opportunity for us. Read more at mtlarchive.com. Speaking of which, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Grimmjow's position pointedly. At this time, Namikaze Minato also looked up. Just in that instant, the personnel on the field had already undergone earth-shaking changes in their positions. The fourth Kazekage of Karigakure stands in the north of Grimmjow, holding a stick-shaped weapon with a hook on the front and decorated with green flowers. Naruto Sarutobi Hiruzen, Jiraiya and others also walked up, standing in the south of Grimmjow with their pipes in their mouths. Third Tsuchikage Onoki, with his back in his hands, floats to the west of Grimmjow. Fourth Raikage, with his throat and fist alive, stands in the east of Grimmjow. In addition, Jonin, the elite of the major ninja villages, stood around Grimmjow. Just within that short time, the people in the ninja world had already surrounded Grimmjow before they knew it. Sure enough, the fighting consciousness of the shadow ranks and the elite Jonin is different. At this moment, Chen Tian, who was in the spirit palace watching the live broadcast through a phone worm, couldn't help but sigh as he looked at the battlefield lingering on the battlefield. Just like the previous battle between Uchiha Madara and Grimmjow, the battle between the strong is originally between the electric light and flint, and the competition is based on the fighting instinct and consciousness. Although, Uchiha Madara has already lost. But, without prejudice, Chen Tian thinks he is the strong. Earth-style Earth Dragon Bullet. Seireitei Hiruzen performed this trick abruptly, only to see that after the seal, he slapped the ground suddenly, using chakra to make an unearthed dragon opened his mouth in the direction of Grimmjow, continuously spraying powerful earth currents. Water-style Isodom falls. At the same time, Fourth Kazekage Tachibana Yakura burst out the chakra of three tails in an instant, centered on himself, and extended a powerful wave in the direction of Grimmjow. Quote. Lightning straight. Quote. Fourth Raikage also performed this trick at this time. In an instant, Fourth Raikage gathered chakra to form a knife full of thick thunder attributes, and attacked towards Grimmjow's position. Earth-style Gang Li-style technique. Onoki Yuyan summons the rock monster to attack Grimmjow. Rasengan. Namikaze Minato was not to be outdone, and naturally displayed a trick. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. The elite Jonin of the major ninjutsu villages around, also performed ninjutsu one by one at this time. In an instant, countless attacks rose up. A wave of coercion began to spread. A ray of light also lights up overwhelmingly. The scene is extremely grand. Dozens of powerful men in the ninja world, almost at the same time, used ninjutsu and launched an attack on Grimmjow. Wang Zhao. That's all. Upon seeing this, Grimmjow burst into anger. In an instant, ho 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 ho. Then, there was a sharp roar, the claw of the last leopard king. A series of light marks were scratched, and then, it resounded with an overwhelming roar. Boom, boom, boom. In a flash. Following, this sudden power swept away in all directions. With Seireitei Hiruzen and others, and Namikaze Minato and other elite Jonin from major ninjutsu villages, they met in midair with the ninjutsu performed by them. The waves resounding through the world suddenly rose. When everyone in the ninja world saw this, they all showed horror on their faces. They didn't expect that Grimmjow actually had another trick, and its power was not necessarily weaker than the previous Wang Shu's flash, and it was even much stronger than the former. Chapter 224. The situation in the battle circle. Suddenly, a qualitative change has taken place in a sudden. The shadows, ninjutsu was arrested one by one. Seireitei Hiruzen waited hurriedly to dodge, but there were already scars on his body. Why is he so strong? Yeah, isn't his power unlimited? The power generated by 2 consecutive attacks is so strong. I didn't expect that people like him still exist in the dark place of ninja world. Quote. But, at this moment, Grimmjow did not wait as before. Instead, he chose to take the initiative to wait for Seireitei Hiruzen and fight against the elite Jonin from the major ninja villages such as Namikaze Minato. Boom, boom, boom. Grimmjow kept playing Seiro, causing everyone in the ninja world to retreat. At this moment, Grimmjow has already controlled the battle circle, and the battlefield is already dominated by him. What should we do now? Everyone in the ninja world, at this moment, resisting the attack from Grimmjow, while looking at each other and asking each other. They all know that now, Grimmjow has taken the initiative. Although they cannot be killed, it is extremely difficult for them to turn defeat into victory. Soul Society. Gotei 13, also noticed the strangeness of this world. Ever since, Yamamoto Genryūsai has begun to order. Seireitei Hiruzen felt that if he continued to kill like this, he would die here. I never thought that such a monster existed in the ninja world. Stab. However, it is at this time. The space has appeared through the boundary gate. A handsome person with long hair, light purple eyes and a cold expression appeared in everyone's eyes. This person is not someone else, it is Byakuya Kuchiki of Gotei 13, and behind him, he is also followed by Abarai Renji, a member of the 6th Division, etc. At this time, Grimmjow stopped attacking the people in the ninja world and turned to look at Byakuya Kuchiki and other members of the 6th Division. Why are you here? You seem to be the 6th Division of Gotei 13. What is the captain, Byakuya Kuchiki? Grimmjow asked Byakuya Kuchiki and others coldly. Byakuya Kuchiki's face was plain and did not speak. Abarai Renji said, "You, Haweko Mundo, are here, of course we will come." The simple dialogue between the two parties has almost made the expressions of 3rd Hokage Seireitei Hiruzen and Namikaze Minato more solemn than ever. Haweko Mundo. Gotei 13. These two organizations were hiding in the dark, but there was never any news about them, and they appeared in everyone's sight at the same time. Read more at mtlarchive.com. With the appearance of Byakuya Kuchiki and members of the 6th Division, the situation on the scene suddenly became complicated. After Haweko Mundo, Gotei 13 also appeared. Especially the few shadows present, countless thoughts flashed in their hearts at this time. As the shadow of Shinobu, none of them are stupid people. Therefore, they can also read out some information from the scene. Is the relationship between this Byakuya Kuchiki of Gotei 13 and this Genryūsai competition? Or is it hostile? They can't tell. However, it can be seen from their eyes and tone that the two sides seem to be jealous of each other, and at the same time there seems to be some kind of conflict between each other. Really, among all the people in the ninja world, at this time, only Seireitei Hiruzen and Namikaze Minato and a few people from Konaha village thought to themselves, it's exactly the same as Jashiro Yukitake. The people in their Konaha village have long learned about the existence of these organizations from Jashiro Yukitake. Therefore, the people of Konaha village have no doubt in their hearts about Jashiro Yukitake's words. In the ninja realm, there are indeed some, behind the scenes that they don't know. Moreover, their strength is extremely powerful. And, since, Hawako Mundo, and Gotei 13 have been confirmed to really exist. But, nowadays, thinking belongs to thinking. The most important thing at the moment is not these, but, they should make a good decision immediately. What on earth are they going to do with the shinobi? At this time, then we will come. Grimjow prepared to fight Byakuya Kuchiki. Come back. But Aizen's voice appeared in Grimjow's ear. Grimjow is not reconciled, but what else can he do now? Torn the pitch black hole. Hawako Mundo will definitely surpass Seireitei. The voice fell and Grimjow left. Byakuya Kuchiki said nothing. He turned and left. No, we know too little about Hawako Mundo and Gotei 13. The elite Jonin and others in the shadows and the few big ninja villages did not think too much and made the right decision accordingly. Among them, Seireitei Hiruzen came forward very kindly. He once knew about Namikaze Minato and Gotei 13, Jashiro Yukitake. It seems that the people of Gotei 13 are very good to talk. Can I inquire about Hawako Mundo and your news? Hearing that, the members of the 6th Division looked at Byakuya Kuchiki. They still looked at Byakuya Kuchiki as the leader. The 6th Division has a strong discipline. Byakuya Kuchiki glanced at Seireitei Hiruzen and others. He was aristocratic, and said, knowing too much is not a good thing. If you don't have the strength, knowing what you shouldn't know will only increase your worry. In that case, as long as you can see our strength, you can tell us. The ninja who was still alive understood Byakuya Kuchiki's words, especially Fourth Kazekage. Byakuya Kuchiki nodded and said, yes, let me see what you can do first. Looking at Byakuya Kuchiki like this, I know that Byakuya Kuchiki is actually kind, just going out of the checkpoint to test them. Immediately, Fourth Kazekage said nothing. He acted as swift. After all, Fourth Kazekage is a bad temper. By now, he couldn't bear it anymore. Killer B. Fourth Kazekage stretched out his hand and gestured to Killer B not far behind him. Killer B nodded. A group of Cloud Shinobi did not hesitate at all, and immediately began to seal. Just the blink of an eye. Cloud Shinobi's hands were all slapped towards the ground. Lightning style 16 pillar binding technique. In an instant, following the completion of the Cloud Shinobi's actions, they saw that 16 extremely black stone pillars rose directly from below the ground. On each of the extremely dark stone pillars, there is a huge amount of thunder and lightning lingering. These lightning and lightning are connected in series with each other, and they are shrouded in Byakuya Kuchiki and the members of the 6th Division. We will show you our power, and we have the right to know everything. Enchantment 16 Mountains Earth Cracking Array. Iwagaker's 16 elite ninjas led the way, and in an instant, dark earth-colored mountains rose slowly from below the ground. Water-style water pillar array. All the ninjas in Kurigakure were all at this time, all of them, so many water jets fell, also trapping Byakuya Kuchiki and the members of the 6th Division. At the same time, the 16 elite ninjas in Konaha village also met each other after looking at each other. Around Grimjow, Byakuya Kuchiki and others, a rectangular enchantment of purple transparent flames was formed. One layer is trapped one layer. I hope that their strength is enough for Byakuya Kuchiki to thoroughly speak out the message of Hawako Mundo and the message of Gotei 13. It seems that they want to fight with us. Abarai Renji looked at Captain Byakuya Kuchiki. Chapter 225. To be honest, Byakuya Kuchiki doesn't have much interest in fighting these ninja guys. But seeing them eager to try one by one, Byakuya Kuchiki looked at Abarai Renji and the other players. To be honest, Byakuya Kuchiki feels that his 6th Division team does not rely on him. Byakuya Kuchiki, relying on themselves, can run rampant in this world. At this moment, the crossing gate opened again. This time Seireitei Hiruzen can see clearly. There are countless tall white walls on the crossing gate, dividing the city one by one. That place seemed a little weird and sacred. There was a huge palace in the center of the city, ancient and majestic. Now there is an old man standing in front of the palace. The old man does not move at all with his eyes closed. However, he stands quietly without anger, called Seireitei Hiruzen and others. He feels that this old man is very scary. This kind of fear comes from the depths of the soul. Even if I glanced at that place, I knew that it was absolutely different from many places in Ninja World, and it should be a sacred place like Mount Myoboku. This should be the Seireitei that Jashiro Yukitake once mentioned. Now Namikaze Minato stared at this sacred city and couldn't help muttering. Naturally, other ninjas also watched the city one by one, especially Orochimaru. He seemed to have discovered something more than others. His eyes shone with a trace. He was very interested in this city. Appearance. Come back. The deputy captain of Yamamoto Motoi Nagasaijukoku now speaks for the captain. Yes, Byakuya Kuchiki is very disciplined. He and the members of the 6th division nodded immediately, and then the crossing gate was closed. Okay, you can make a move. I thought that Byakuya Kuchiki was leaving like this, but he didn't expect that the next moment he would still say so. The meaning of his words also surprised Seireitei Hiruzen and others. It means that solving people like them is simply a blink of an eye, and no time will be wasted to go back. It can be said that Byakuya Kuchiki's words made many ninjas very uncomfortable. Among them, Fourth Kazekage roared furiously. You guys really look down on people too. At this moment, Seireitei Hiruzen waited a little. Although Fourth Kazekage had a bad temper, what the Fourth Kazekage said was what they wanted to say. In any case, their status in the ninja world is still very high. Except for the daimyos of the 5 great nations, no one speaks to them at all, and the daimyo sometimes talks with them in that kind of negotiating tone. It is not the attitude of Byakuya Kuchiki. That said, it only takes a short time to solve you. It's completely time to go back and report to the captain. Captain. Hearing these 3 words that Abarai Renji suddenly blurted out, everyone present was shocked. Gotei 13 turned out to be strong and weak. It was not their own teams and their own governance, but there were also characters like the captain. The captain they said should be the strongest person they respect most. So in the eyes of Byakuya Kuchiki and others, this captain should be the supreme existence. Seireitei Hiruzen and others looked at each other. And Byakuya Kuchiki looked at them like this, and seemed to guess something, saying, the Spirit King is the highest, the king of many worlds, and the king of your world. What? Hearing that, Seireitei Hiruzen waited a glance at each other. Why do they think the Spirit King is also the king of their world? In the eyes of Seireitei Hiruzen and others, there are 5 big names in this world, and they have the final say. This world, so far, has not been unified, so why is the Spirit King the ultimate king? Read more at mtlarchive.com. Seireitei Hiruzen also doesn't understand it at the moment. Abarai Renji saw Seireitei Hiruzen like this, patted his forehead, and said with a bit of trouble, you will suffer a terrible fate if you are like this. If you don't want to recognize the Spirit King, then you will end up terribly, just like the Sea World 5 elders, like will eventually disappear. Whether it is Marine or the Pirate 4 emperors, they must live under the Spirit King. Yes, not just them, even our Captain Yamamoto Genryūsai, or, Hawako Mundo. Aizen, it's all like this. At this time, in the sky, a grin opened a hole. In the mouth, Manos Grande is ferocious. Each head exudes the terrifying aura of a tail beast. What is this? What a terrible place, is it hell? Looking at the horrible scene in the mouth, Seireitei Hiruzen and others were even more shocked. Well said. Find flowers. Now, the White Zai Palace appeared, and a calm voice came from it. Even, Hawako Mundo, actually has to admit the supremacy of the Spirit King and the ultimate rulership. Hearing this sentence, Seireitei Hiruzen and others have already understood. This is, Hawako Mundo. Sure enough, it's not the scene of Shinobi. The ninjas were shocked, and they didn't know what to say. In Hawako Mundo, in addition to Espada, there are many terrifying monsters. In addition, Hawako Mundo seems to be Aizen in charge. Who is this Aizen? Espada's number 1. Now, brainy ninjas, such as Orochimaru, etc. Now think about a question. Even the ancient sage of 6 paths, there are only a few words about him. But whether it's Gotei 13, or Hawako Mundo, or something. But there is no news. No trace to be found. Why is this? Could it be that Gotei 13, Hawako Mundo, or something, lasted longer than the legendary sage of 6 paths? In addition, what are the 4 emperors that haven't appeared yet? Marine. The 4 emperors among the pirates. Thinking of this, many ninjas looked in the direction of Kurigakure ninjas. Kurigakure was originally on the sea. They should know the situation on the sea. At this moment, Kurigakure's ninja is also at a loss. The 7 ninja swords frown, and they really can't think of it. What 4 emperors? I have never heard of it. There are indeed pirates on the sea, but they don't pay attention to them. They are all rebels. Are there 4 emperors among them? The ninja 7 people felt that they should be interrogated when they went back. The ninja world we used to know is too small. Seireitei Hiruzen and others, at this moment, I have to have such thoughts in my mind. I only feel that I am a frog in the bottom of the well. Now, Hawako Mundo, closed. Aizen appeared just to behave in front of the Spirit King. Byakuya Kuchiki said flatly. Then I looked at the ninjas in front of me. Then he said, it's all right at once. If I can beat me, I will tell you all the news. Chuan.